Hello, Internet people. I'm Nick.
I'm Josiah.
We're friends.
We're playing Marvel Rivals.
We're friends and rivals. Well, hello, what is up? It is episode 33 of Friends and Rivals, Marvel Rivals podcast. And last week I was coming to you from a folding table in an empty bedroom in California, and now I'm coming to you from a folding table in an empty office from somewhere else.
We've gone from doxable to undoxable.
I've undoxed myself, yeah.
Safe. Nice. And I saw it. I saw the folding table and the office. I can dox you all I want. But yeah, we had some fun today.
Yeah, we did.
Unpacking. At least it was a really nice day, actually. Like pretty great weather.
Well, and by the time you were able to get there, we were like over halfway done. So it was pretty quick, and then we just kind of hung out.
Yeah. So I told you nice. I can unpack things. You could have waited.
Well, what were we gonna do? We were literally in an empty house.
Yeah.
So this is unpacking day 1 of 3, and then we got to put the house together, and
and boom, house. There you go.
Boom goes the dynamite. Well,
Nick, it has been 96 days since I finished Expedition 33.
Did I take that off?
I felt that I needed to give our community an update, seeing as it is episode 33. On my Expedition 33, I
didn't take it off. It's still there.
All right, enjoy that. And in honor of our 33rd episode, I did jump back into Expedition 33 and let my son do some spoiler activity that he likes to see of this certain thing that's really cute and funny. But then I was like, I want to finish. There's like some pinnacle activity, some like end game stuff that I never did. And I was like jumping in, like messing with my build. Like Expedition 33 has like a massively complex build crafting system. That's like one of the core driving elements of what makes the combat so compelling. And I thought about why it was so compelling to me. And I thought about some of the frustrations that, overwhelmingly positively reviewed game, but some of the frustrations were about like, hey, I made the game too easy for myself in Act 3. I'm killing everything in one hit because I broke the game because I looked up this online build and now I'm doing 999,000 damage per hit. And it's like the challenge is gone and it's not fun anymore. And that connecting to me reading a review for Diablo 4 made it solidify in my head why I don't care about the meta. This is a throwback. Why I don't seek out metas in games. This is a throwback to like episode 5, maybe, if you've been listening that long. But it just, and you said something about it too that made it click even more. I don't want to feel like I'm cheating. I don't want to feel like I'm breaking the game and like robbing myself of the experience of discovering like what's good and what's, I want the joy I get from discovering like a synergy or a tactic in like Marvel Rivals, a build on Angela. I felt really excited, and we'll talk about this, that I felt like I didn't see anything about something that I discovered about her, and I was just like messing around and found it, and I'm like, yes, like this is awesome. Like those things are so much fun to me that it all just kind of like clicked why I don't like looking up guides, why I don't like looking at metas, why I don't like following metas. I like to go against the grain, and yeah. Anyway, there's my rant for no reason.
No, that makes sense though.
Yeah, it
Like,
connects to Marvel Rivals a little bit, I guess, to that episode 5, but
yeah, no, that makes sense though, because like even in a single player game, right, with like the problem with cheats all the time is like you go, oh, I'm gonna give myself infinite money, it'll be cool, and then you do
hmm
it, and you're like, oh, this is just a toy now.
Yep.
There's no game anymore, right?
Yep.
And I could totally see how for you, since discovery is a lot of the game of like every game you play,
Yeah.
discovering it is a lot of the game for you.
Right.
That like that would just completely deflate the balloon. But
Well,
for me, like picking it apart and understanding it and manipulating it is the game in every game that I'm playing. And
yeah.
so for me, I'm like, I do like it when I discover something myself first,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
But like, I'm more interested in figuring out how to manipulate it than I am
Yeah.
in me being the one that came up with it, if that makes sense. So like,
Sure.
that's why I tilt way the other way is I'm like, okay, I'm gonna learn everything I can and then use all that information to come up with my
Right.
own stuff, you know.
Right,
So
right.
I can totally see that. Like, yeah, no, that makes sense to me.
But it's funny. It's to the point where like I remember so Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls Oblivion was the first game I ever 100%ed. I got every single
Mhm.
achievement for the base game and both DLCs. I had it on PC for like years and I couldn't finish it because I kept modding myself and command prompting myself into Oblivion into Oblivion because I was like I knew the dev like the dev cheat command to type in to be teleported to a building where every single item in the game was accessible, and I'd be like, oh yeah, sweet, like I've got this sword now and all this stuff, and I couldn't finish the game until I bought it on the Xbox 360 again, and I had no access to those tools, and I not only finished it, but I 100%ed all the content. And yeah, I just don't have the self control, I guess, to
I was
deal
gonna
with
say
that information and
that
that
might
like
be that might be part of the difference too, because I think about how much time I spent in Minecraft, and
yeah,
like Minecraft is a game where you could just go play the creative mode and have
yeah,
everything
right,
you want. But
right,
like I would use the creative mode to design things that I wanted to make, and then I would be excited to go like grind forever to make it
yeah,
happen
yeah,
in survival, right? And I was
right,
totally cool with having the tools and then intentionally not using them to make fun
yeah,
happen. So like
right,
I could totally see that being similar to our stance on guides and like
yeah,
stuff like that. I was like, I want to find out what all the meta builds are in a Divinity like original sin kind of game, and then decide
yes.
whether I'm going to use them or not. But it's just
uh,
fun seeing the big numbers and go like, oh wow, you really can break this. Okay, I'm going to figure out how to do it a
right.
different way. Like, yeah,
Shout out to Larian Studios, a small homegrown indie
small
dev.
indie company.
You've probably never heard of them. um, well, I have no segue, but we should probably move on and read yet another 5-star review, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This you know, we're not begging here, but this is the last one, so we're caught up now. And next week we'll be sad and lonely. So,
Yeah. So
anyway,
so we won't ask you to do it. But if you don't, we're just gonna have a few moments of silence at this point in the episode
in
where
my
there would
empty
be a
office
review. Yeah,
alone on a
exactly.
folding table. Yeah. All right. This came from Iron Salvi, and their title for their review is "Please add me." Um,
um,
come join us in the
consider
Discord.
yourself added.
Play armed and dangerous.
Hear this right
Discord.
here? That's me adding you. It's adding the ability to access our Discord, which is in the link of every episode. So
Yeah.
we'll see you
They
soon,
say
Salty.
I love the pod. It's super fun listening to this when I get home. Always makes my day better. The good vibes are just always nice.
Heck yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
From two California boys, we all about them good vibes.
And we
You know
both
what I'm
just
saying.
hung loose at the same time.
Yeah, we
No
did.
prompting.
I made that I did the hang loose at work in front of a couple coworkers the other day, and there was one of the people I did it in front of was like, what is that? They like chuckled because I was like hang
Genuinely
loose and I did
confused.
it. Yeah, yeah. They're like, what is that? And I'm like, oh no. Wait, I'm so far. I'm
You
far
just
from the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, in their mind, you just like immediately donned a wetsuit and like
Yeah, right.
surfer hair and a surfboard.
Yeah, and I'm already a long blonde-haired boy, so people already assume that anyway. But
All right.
well, cool.
Well,
I
let's
mean, yeah,
yeah,
speaking of beach-themed things, let's jump into the news and discuss the summer skins.
in September.
If you were mourning the end of summer and already feeling the seasonal depression creep back in, fear no more because Marvel Rivals says summer lives forever, and they're bringing us 5 new summer skins. Um, they're really delaying their communication with this stuff. I had to edit my comment 3 times for this episode because they kept like trickling new information. At first, I was like, okay, all they have in the roadmap is September 19th and a picture of 5 skins. I'm like, are they just gonna hot drop 5 skins in the store in one day? And then they revealed it's the Invisible Woman and Punisher duo. And then I'm like, okay, that's so weird that there's still 3 skins left and no event listed. Like, are they gonna drop a trio for the first time? Or like, how is that gonna work? And then they announce, there is another summer swimsuit event. And that is also launching at the same time on September 18th. And that one's going to include Mantis, Human Torch, The Thing, as well as a Sue Storm and Punisher emoji bundle. And The Thing is free. Yet once again, they're just given like the last 3 Thing skins have been free. The Venomized Thing skin was free, the Thong was free, and now I don't
Yeah,
remember what references we made to this skin last time, but this skin is free.
yeah, pirate thing. Yeah, I don't really like this. The reason being the last 3 battle chest things have all been you can get a thing skin if you don't buy it. Otherwise, like buy it. Like it
Mhm.
it's weird that the thing has gotten 4 skins in the last like season and a half. But what?
Wait, what did they give him?
Yeah, okay, there we go. Um, had to be done.
Most
Um,
dejected bingo click ever.
but you know what I mean? Like he didn't have any, and then he got 4 in the last season
Yeah,
and a half.
right.
And then on top of that, basically the only things they've given out for free in the last season and a half were the thing over
Yeah.
and over and over again. And so I don't know.
Well, hey, in the battle pass, they gave Rocket, they gave
That's true.
Groot,
That's true. That's
and
true.
this season
I'm
there's
just
Cap, and there's yeah.
I'm just dejected because, quite honestly, like the way that this worked out with Invisible Woman and the Punisher being the paid ones, and then the Battle Pass being the other 3, and Thing being free is probably the like bottom choice for me of how I was hoping they were going to work out.
Yeah.
I was hoping that it was going to be Human Torch as the and Thing as the paid ones because they're a pair, and then the other 3 in the Battle Pass. But that was mostly because I want the other 3.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, well, I'm not buying all 3 of these.
Yeah,
So
well, it would have been perfect if they just made it the work read as a workaholic bundle and have Sue,
yeah, they
Johnny,
could have done
and
that
Danny
too. Yeah,
all together in the summer pass. But yeah,
but
I'm
you
curious to
know,
see the price on this one too because they don't call it out. If these are all of the rewards, this is the shortest mini battle pass they've ever done, for
I
sure.
think the last one was the
So,
same length, was 21. But they are shorter than they were initially. Yeah,
oh
for sure.
wait, where are you seeing 21?
Well, it says includes 20 plus rewards, I guess. So
Oh
it's
my
21
gosh,
or
I can't
24.
freaking read. I just saw the 5 rewards
You
and I
just
was
saw
like,
the
wow,
5
that's
rewards and
weird.
you're like,
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
was like, that's so odd. But okay, all right, never mind. That makes sense. But yeah, I'll probably. I mean, granted, Mantis is very quickly becoming my like one of my favorite strategists in my top 3 for sure right now.
And that's a really
But
cool skin for her, for sure.
yeah, it is. It is. We'll see. I'll have to see what the other rewards are and what the price is. If they do another $10 one like the first summer Summer Pass. I think I'm passing, but
Yeah. My problem is just I have two Thing skins very recently that I'm
yeah,
really excited about, and
yeah,
he's the free
right,
one anyway. But I'm not. I don't
yeah,
play Human Torch, so yeah.
right.
But you know what? This solidified for me
Hmm.
is is exactly what was going on in their heads when they put together the summer special this year.
What's that?
Because we had the Thong and the Punisher, right? Where they were just like, look, we need Tarzan loincloths flying all over the place. And then every single, now with these two, every single female strategist, except for except for Dagger, which she's half of the character,
Yeah,
every single female strategist got a summer skin.
right.
So here's what they were doing. They were designing these. This is my tinfoil hat theory. They were designing these
I know
around
where
the
this is
time
going.
that the support strike happened. And they were like, oh, shoot, we need people to play support. We need strategists.
Yep.
Here's
Yeah.
what we're going to do.
I know. I saw someone comment on the Reddit post of the release of this. they're like Rivals devs holding on to that Emma summer swimsuit for Code Red. Like, like when the game is like something happens and everything is going wrong. The well now not the only female strategist with Angela, but yeah, that I don't disagree. And also I have this very funny. Let's see. Can I do it? Is this gonna work? Please work. Come on. You can do it, phone. Yes. All right. I just dropped it in the in the doc right here. Um, so I saw someone repost this dev update from Dead by Daylight that made me think of the Rivals devs. And they're like, so because someone in the Reddit was like, why do they keep making all the like all these like sexy swimsuit costumes? And someone else said, allow me to respond with a dev response in Dead by Daylight. The Dead by Daylight dev, Eric, lead character artist, says, no, we don't like feet. If we make more feet cosmetics, it's because you like feet. Supply and demand. The data doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Show us how many summer swimsuit special battle passes you sold, Rivals devs.
It would be kind of fun to see the numbers on the various battle passes, like whenever
Yeah,
they create
yeah.
them.
Well, and who knows? Maybe it is part of the technically speaking dev log that they posted that dropped just a couple hours ago that we did not have a chance to review and we'll be covering next week. So sorry about that, but it's coming soon. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, so they got a patch for this week, and it's mostly this new summer special pass that we were talking about. But just to make it clear, because we were just kind of talking around it without, ooh, excuse me, without laying it out directly. The new paid skins for the week are Invisible Woman and the Punisher.
Hmm.
They are also, by the time this comes out, you're going to have like one day to do it. But they're giving out this weekend a free volleyball bash
Yeah,
group emote combo bundle thing.
I love it. I really love it.
Yeah, basically, the Thing, Invisible Woman, Mantis, or the Punisher. If you're playing one of those characters with any of the other ones, you can play volleyball against each other. Did you see? It's literally a little mini game.
No, no, I
It's
didn't.
a quick time event back and forth. You have
No
to hit it at the right
way.
time to keep the volley going, and
Oh
you just
my
try to get it as
goodness.
long as you can.
That's amazing. Holy
Yeah.
crap. Once again, check it off your bingo list. The Rivals devs doing something that I've never seen done in any other game. Creating a quick time event out of an emote. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then the first comment I saw on it was someone talking about like, what the heck? Where's Johnny? Why doesn't he get to do this? But it's because he's flying, and that would cause issues, I think. But if you go into the store between the 19th and the 22nd, or really the 21st, don't leave it until the 2 hours of the
Yeah, yeah.
22nd that you can do this. You can get it for free, and then after that, it looks like it's going to be 800 units. So.
Dang,
Um,
yeah, that's a huge wow. That's a lot of money to give away for free. Dang.
Yeah. Well, I think if you got the volleyball emote, then you're gonna want them in volleyball attire, and then
That's
you
true.
gotta you gotta go buy the skin. Um, let's see what else is coming out. We got chat channels are now gonna support font color, special characters, emojis,
Yeah.
and more. Express yourself like never before, they say. So the cool chat update that they were talking about in the um, dev vision is
Yep.
coming. And then they're adding more detailed hero statistics for replay data, which is interesting. They didn't announce that previously, so that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really curious to see what that is. I'm wondering if they're going to allow you to see like the stats that the extra stats that you can see for the hero you're playing for other heroes. I wonder, like, I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be cool. And then they have some fixes. So they say quick matches and arcade games near completion will no longer add substitute players. Thank goodness. The amount of times I've been like hitting
Yeah.
the quick match and
Yep.
then loaded into a game that was literally ending is way too much.
Same. Same.
Then fixed abnormal. Wow, I can't talk. Abnormal hero.
Well, why don't
Fixed.
I take this one for you?
Yeah, go for it.
Fixed abnormal hero data display on other players' career statistics page.
Yeah.
And then they fixed certain battle stat highlights not being settable in the career system.
Yes,
Uh,
this one I
so-
encountered.
oh, yeah.
They had your top KO streak previously on the third row, but
Uh-huh.
now it's a second row, like one that you can choose to show or not. And because it was on the third row, you couldn't actually delete it from the third row to get it to
Mm,
the second one to
got
like,
it. Got
yeah.
it.
So
And then finally, last but not least, thank goodness for all of us trying to chat in the game. We've removed the squad text channel when solo queuing. Thank you. That was so obnoxious to
also
every.
defaults to it.
I know that was the problem. Is that every time you go in the game, I open up trying to send out a cheeky "good luck, have fun" heart emoji, and
It
nope, I
goes
just send it to my squad of one.
it goes straight into the cone of silence. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then this next one, I wish I would have seen. I guess I could still check it before the patch goes live, but they reduced Angela's excessively oversized head in giant size brain blast. So,
Oh, my
um,
giant blue head.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Sorry.
then
Megamind.
for I was like, Blue Head? I have not seen Megamind. So yeah,
It's good.
anyway. And then on console, they fixed rare performance drops and screen tearing on PS5. Can you fix the not rare performance drops and screen tearing on PC? Because because that seems to be the bigger problem. But anyway. And then we do have 3 hero fixes for Loki, Ultron, and Luna, our strategists. So they fixed an issue with Loki where when he used his ult, um, to transform into a costumed Adam Warlock and was KO'd and revived via regenerative cocoon, he would come back wearing Adam's default costume. And then they say, no more wardrobe malfunctions in the multiverse.
If you ever were hit by this, congratulations. You may
Yeah,
have been able to discover the Konami code on your own if you
I
tried
was,
any harder than that.
I was gonna say this needs to have its own achievement associated with it.
Up,
To
down, left, right. Adam
yeah,
Warlock, second costume, die, revive.
right, right. And then Ultron gets a fix called Palm Pilot Precision. Basically, they just make his beams align more correctly for the Encephalo Ray and Nano Ray, which is his team up attack, so that they now fire perfectly from his palm. This, as far as I can tell, is just a visual change. It shouldn't have any impact on his actual gameplay. And then Luna Snow's dance upgraded. They polished her dancing animation during her ultimate ability. So that's cool.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what that's about. They actually mentioned in it too that they didn't fix it yet for the jellyfish in the Ultimate VFX, but that they're going to in the next
Mm.
patch. So
Mm-hmm,
if you
mm-hmm.
have the jellyfish, you might see her randomly clipping her feet through the jellyfish or floating
Yeah,
randomly or something. Enjoy it while you can because it's fun.
yeah, yeah. Oh, and they do tease. It's not on any of these updates or anything, but they do tease that the Mantis Summer Beach skin will get its own ultimate VFX as well when it comes out.
Oh,
Yeah, similar to Luna's. It looks really cool.
okay. That's intriguing.
Yeah.
That's intriguing for buying it.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and then Josiah mentioned they released a new sort of dev video type today.
Mm-hmm.
with a technically speaking is what they're calling it, which is talking about performance and like back end stuff. So we didn't really get a chance to look at it right now before this episode because they dropped it today. But we'll probably talk about whatever the highlights are from that next week. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be about frame drops and stuttering and a bunch of stuff like that. So that's pretty cool if you want to check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
And
and
then,
then
yeah, so in this is really interesting to me. In the Immortal Beast event, I had just unlocked it. They have a comic page that shows 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 Immortal Beasts as Marvel Rivals characters. But the weird thing is, they have Immortal Beast skins for 4 of them that we have definitely not seen. So it's Black Widow, Daredevil, Wolverine, Loki, Iron Fist, Angela, Storm, and Groot. And in here, they show Wolverine, Loki, Iron Fist, Angela, and Storm with very clear, like, Immortal Beast themed skins. So what's really interesting to me is that the only one of these that is in the game is Loki. And this actually makes sense that he's not Phoenix themed. He's his icon in the background is a heron. So he's like heron Immortal Beast themed. But
yeah,
for some reason none of these made it into the Immortal Beast Battle Pass. Like, this to me, just the only explanation I have is that they didn't have enough time to do this the way they wanted to, which is
yeah.
sad.
This
But
this whole image is interesting to me because Widow is just in her default skin,
yeah, and Groot's just in
right?
his default skin.
Yeah, Groot's in his default, and then Daredevil's in his default, right?
Right. I mean,
Which
we
makes sense
assume.
because Daredevil's going to be part of the whole deal. The
Yeah.
Wolverine one isn't the Phoenix one from last season.
No.
I guess no. It's slightly it's different. And then the yellow one. Who is the yellow one?
That's Iron Fist.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Then who's the green one next to him?
That's Angela. You can the only way you can tell is because she has the bands around her arm and she's
Oh, and
definitely
the
holding
axes.
2 axes. Yeah. Yeah, they've really modified her to look
Like
in the
Winter
background. It looks
Soldier.
like yeah, she's got the mask like Winter Soldier. I think they're going for like a Siberian tiger sort of
Yeah.
vibe.
Okay. Well, I'm
And then
definitely curious to see what that looks like when you see the full body and like what it looks like in the
yeah.
game.
Yeah, and then Storm is like I think it's called the Enki, Enki, I believe that's what that like demon is called. At least in the, well, I guess that's Japan. I don't know what it's called in China, but it's the like ape with the horn on its head.
Yeah. What it looks like here is it looks like a blue Entei with like Pokemon style, but
Right.
it's a cool outfit. Like I'm curious to see that one too. She has like a weird almost wizard hat, but it's a horn kind of
Yeah.
thing. That's pretty
Well,
cool.
and Iron, I mean, as much as I don't like to give Iron Fist any compliments at all, his Super Saiyan vibe that he's got here is pretty sick. He's got the freaking golden dragon horns and like blonde Super Saiyan hair, and
Yeah, that is
he's
pretty
looking
cool.
ready to throw down for sure.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get these this season.
Yeah.
The last couple things are just reminders. Well, actually, one is a new announcement. But if you didn't get the Mark 42 Iron Man skin when the game came out, that they had a code for, it's like a kind of brownish yellow Iron Man suit. They've actually brought it back for a little while, so to celebrate the PS4 launch.
Yeah.
So if you want to go grab that code, we have the link in the description. It's just SNMR Iron Man, but you can get it in the description on their X post.
That makes way more sense. I read that as SNMRI Ron Man.
Ron Man, ready for action. And then the other one is Blade Twitch drops started. So
Hey.
just a reminder, you got about a month until, gosh, you have a month until 4.5
Oh gosh.
to get the Blade Twitch drops.
That's terrifying. But you know what's not terrifying? The podcast patch notes. Nick, 2 minutes on the clock and go.
All right, so I have two things. So one, I've been keeping track of all of the bonus units that you get once you finish the battle pass each
Of course
season.
you have. Of course you have.
And hey, it's for the content, man.
I know.
Um,
I know.
but I would probably do it anyway. You're right. Uh, so season one and season two, I got all the challenges right, and ended up with 5 times that I was able to get the free 100 units at the end. Okay, cool.
Mhm,
Season three, we went to a shorter season, right?
mhm.
And I got 7 times at the end that I was able
Whoa.
to get to 100 units. And
Wow.
I think I missed out because I wasn't really playing it all in the last week. And I'm pretty sure I didn't finish enough to get myself to 800. So I think they literally added basically 300 units to the pool
Oh
when
my
they
gosh.
when they shortened the season just because of how they like rearranged everything. So that's pretty cool. Um,
That is really cool.
and then the other patch note I have is about the Luna accessory that's coming out, the nine-tailed white fox that we were talking about.
Yeah.
So that's actually a reference to, like all the other ones, it's a reference to another Marvel superhero
Oh.
who's called White Fox, and
Hmm.
they in fact have been data mined for a while.
Oh.
So they may actually be coming, but she's another member of the Agents of Atlas team that Luna's on, um, and she like turns into a fox Dokkaebi and has claws and this. I think her powers are kind of like a type of demon that I probably can't reference on the family friendly version of
Ah, I
this
see.
that we're doing.
I
This
see.
is
It's
interesting.
is it the counterpart to the hit 90s band that wrote Anomaly?
Yes, yes, it is. Yeah.
There you go, gang. Dig.
So anyway, that's my podcast match. Now you're up.
All right. All right. I like that. Well, just as the data analysis and going way too hard for information side of Nick came out in his, so will, I don't know, whatever this is going to convey to you will come out for me. So starting this season off was quite the like weird transcendent experience for me as I read their intro message for the season, which starts with the header. I think hell is not yet empty, and I'm reading and I'm reading and I'm like getting chills as I'm reading as they're talking about Daredevil who's taken on the title of Dizang to like take the worst people who are in this area of Kunlun, the like hell sector of it basically, and like trying to rehabilitate them. And they're saying in this they're like every everyone who grows up in China like knows this famous story of this monk Dizang. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so familiar. I know this story. Why do I know this story? Like I don't know Chinese literature very well, but I'm like I know this story, and I look up Dizang, and what comes up is Sirigarba, which is the Japanese, which is the well, Sirigarba is like Sumerian, a Sumerian name, but it's the same story of this like bodhisattva monk who like intentionally goes like into the hell area and like stays there, like won't ascend to nirvana to like help the like demons and things that are stuck there. And I'm like, that's crazy that I know that I had like studied that story and it's now connected to this. But what got even crazier is that City Garba is connected to the Japanese version, which is Jizo, and there are all these Jizo statues like where he's like a protector of travelers and like lost people and like children and stuff. And it turns out that all of the weird statues that I always felt really weird looking at growing up watching My Neighbor Totoro are Jizo statues. So my entire life of like beginning watching Totoro to like middle reading about City Garba and like modern day reading about Dizang and Marvel Rivals just coalesced in this weird moment, and I kind of just like sat at my desk for a minute like jaw open like whoa, this is super weird that it just all connected. And there's my 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So
Nice.
that's that.
I was wondering how these three pictures were going to come together, but I knew it was going to be a journey for sure. So,
Yep, as all of these have been for me.
cool. Well, let's get into our main topic, which is, of course, with season 4 being new this week, we're just going to talk about our first impressions.
Sweet. Yeah, so we're a week into season 4 already, and we've got some thoughts on Angela, obviously the battle pass, and Nick has in here other stuff. So we'll see where that goes. But I guess I kind of want to start with just an overall impression, which feels like it should be the last thing, but I want it to be the first thing because I want to
Yeah,
just
that's
kind of
cool.
set a tone.
Yeah, yeah.
Season 4 feels really good right now, like more so to me than any season so far. Like
Okay.
as far as like the diversity of team comps that I'm seeing, and like the way people are playing, and just how the matchups are feeling, and like every hero feeling like good and balanced. I haven't had any like really frustrating experiences. Well, not because of the game anyway. I've had some weird people experiences this season. But as far as like game health goes, I have seen a lot of different heroes that I feel like I'm not normally seeing come out and do really well. And yeah, it's the meta feels like it's in a good place, at least in week 1. I mean, obviously we have to wait and see how things go, but Angela doesn't feel like she's broken anything in the meta. Like the buffs and nerfs don't feel like they've broken anything. But everybody who was buffed, I've had a chance to play every single person who's been buffed for at least a game or two, and everyone feels like really good and exciting. Like Magic's new team up is a ton of fun, and with her new right click buff of piercing and charging up faster and reducing her portal cooldowns, like all of that feels really amazing. Both of us were playing Witch, and both of us were like, "Holy crap!" Just the survivability factor of keeping heals through your phase shifts and things like that. There
Oh,
were just a lot of good decisions made, I feel,
yeah.
and I like I'm not none of them feel bad. I haven't played Loki. Loki is like the one hero who I think the most worried about, and I haven't played him to see how his damage and healing stacks up now that his doppelgangers only have 80%. But I don't know. Everyone just feels really good. Is like, what do you agree so far, or?
Yeah, I mean, this week has been weird because I haven't had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been driving the whole week, but I basically spent a bunch of time playing Angela, which is it's gonna warp the opinion because I was that
Yeah.
guy insta-locking Angela into every
Oh
game,
yeah.
right?
Same.
But then
For a
today I
while.
got yeah, today I got to play a lot of the ones that got adjusted to just to see how it felt with them. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, I don't know what this meta is right now. Like, I mean, no one
Hmm.
does because it's week 1, but like
Yes.
it
Which I
feels
love.
very. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think part of the reason why it feels good is because it feels very undefined. Like
Yes.
it
Yes.
feels like there's a lot of different ways that team comps can go, and depending on what you get a game that's one way or another. But it feels like it's not like a someone always starts with this character and everything
Yeah.
cascades from there kind of thing,
So what
which
you're
is a good way to
saying
see it.
is the game is more fun when people don't know what the meta is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Solving the meta is a lot of what
Right.
ends up being fun, which is why they change it once everyone figures it out, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
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 Um, yeah, I overall like I really like how Witch feels now.
Hmm.
That being able to be healed through your phase, like literally in the one game I played as Witch, saved my life like 3 or 4 times. Like where I,
Yeah.
I just know, like normally I would have died here, but I
Right.
was fine because they were able to heal me up while I was invulnerable. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The ult felt a lot better too now with the pull, and just knowing like they're dead if they're inside. It made her a lot scarier to play against too.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
now when that ult's going off, it's weird because 800 normally would kill you anyway, but there were
Right.
like bonus health ways to survive it.
Hmm.
And sometimes just like weird things that could make you survive it. And now like when she's going off, I'm back to the panic I had on launch week when we were like, she can just kill everyone? Like
Yeah.
how is it, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
so
definitely feel
yeah.
like I've gotten killed by witch ults more than usual.
Mhm.
And one of the games I played witch today, I whiffed every single one. But the other game, I got kills every single time. I popped it 3 times in one game. The first one I got a 3-piece, and then yeah, the next couple I got a couple
That,
people.
that game was
Um,
yeah, ridiculous.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, everyone I've played so far though like feels that way, which has been really exciting. So I hope that that's true. I've been playing a lot of quick play. I did play a little competitive. I actually ranked up already once. But I haven't surprisingly seen a lot of Black Panther Hulk happening,
Yeah.
which I'm very, very grateful for.
You know what? You know what? What feels really good? The Moon Knight buff of giving him that second Moonblade. That like he has a lot more burst potential now.
Mm,
Being able to chuck out 2 Moonblades right
yeah,
away, like that's pretty cool.
for
And
sure.
it felt like it altered his playstyle a little bit when I was playing him. And I haven't quite figured out like, do you onk and then chuck both Moonblades immediately, or do you
Mm,
left click for a bit? Like I'm not entirely sure where it ends
yeah,
up, but it especially let him take out tanks a lot better, which is great because they're the easiest thing to hit. So
right.
that felt good. And then the other one that felt really good was which makes me really happy, was the Winter Soldier stun on the or
Oh, yeah.
grounding on
Yeah,
the end of
yeah.
his Trooper's Fist. Like
Yep.
that got me killed a few times as Magic, where
Hmm.
I was coming up against Winter Soldier, and he just hit me with it, and I couldn't get out, and I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
like I made a huge
Yeah.
mistake here. Before it was really safe to get up, get up
Yep.
next to him as Magic, and now it's
Yeah.
that's a bit scary.
He wrecked me as Angela a couple times for
Oh
sure.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah. But I also had a lot of fun with Doctor Strange. That Maelstrom of Madness cooldown, that those 2 seconds, man, being able to pop that off that much more. I was getting games as like top damage, top kills, Doctor Strange again, which feels amazing, obviously.
That
And
makes me really happy
yeah,
because I think Strange has fallen into the Magneto camp of like he's not as fun to play anymore. Like the
right,
last few seasons when they kept nerfing him, he felt like he wasn't as fun to play anymore because he couldn't like I don't know. He became more of a team player where like he couldn't. He was always a team player with the shield, but like it felt like you couldn't make plays on your own very well. And
right.
so seeing that come back, like that's really good because both Magic and Witch feel really good with that team up. And
Yep.
uh,
Oh yeah.
I don't want people in a Hulk situation when
Yeah.
they get asked to be Doctor Strange where they're like, me no like Hulk, but
All
I guess,
right.
all right.
Yeah, me like win.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only one that I've played a bit of so far that I can't say I've noticed too much of a difference is with Blade.
Okay.
I haven't really felt that 2 damage per sword in, like it's that's one that's like so hard to just feel, I'd have to see
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
stats on like, hey, this was his TTK with his like, most efficient use of his blade combo before, and this is the TTK now. Like, I would need to see some math done to get an idea. I can't figure that out just on a vibe.
For
But
sure.
well,
Well, the other one is
oh yeah,
Invisible
yeah.
Woman.
Oh,
The Invisible
oh
Woman ult
yes. Oh
change.
my gosh.
I did not realize until it got changed how like like I said last week that I kind of had it in my head that you always got slowed when you were in the ult
Yeah,
because you get slowed by 55% when you come
yeah.
in,
Right,
but then it fades away. But I never noticed it fading away in my head. Like
right,
psychologically, I was like, "Oh, I shouldn't be in this thing. I'm slow."
right.
But now that it actually slows you, like I go in and I'm like, "Oh no."
Oh no. Yeah, yeah. Where I was having such a bad time playing Angela, and like I'm gonna dive into this ult and
Mhm.
like rip her out of it. And I'm like, holy crap, I am so slow. Like I'm never gonna get her.
Yeah, that thing
Yeah.
is like a hard Angela counter for a
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
because like Angela's thinking 100%. Like my first few Angela games against a Invisible Woman, I was thinking like, yeah, well, I'll pull her out and kill her, and then
Yeah,
it'll get rid of the
exactly.
ult.
It'll be
And
gone.
then I was like,
Yeah,
like jabbing towards her,
yeah.
like this
Right.
isn't gonna work.
Right. Angela, the fierce goddess of Asgard charging through Invisible Woman. It's Sue Storm. I just want to see someone make the meme of the, I don't know what WWE person it is, but the Sue Storm face like, you're not going nowhere. Oh, it's Spider-Man, not
It's Spider-Man, yeah.
yeah, not WWE. I'm dumb. But yeah, it definitely feels really bad, which is great for Invisible Woman. I love that she has that.
I think it might. I think my new nickname for the Invisible Woman ult now is going to be the Jello Dome because it just feels like you're flying
Yeah.
through Jello when you're in that thing as an enemy.
Oh, she's
So,
Jello doming.
yeah.
Yeah. The one I didn't play actually is Penny. I think Penny's the only one who I didn't get to experience with the like movement reduction. However, I did get to experience it myself. And it really what it did, funny enough, I didn't really experience the slow all that much, but what it did is I was thinking about her Ness all the time. And I was just like, you know what? I don't want to like go in there at all now. Like I don't even want to like
To
put it,
attempt it.
yeah, right, to attempt to dive her because not only am I going to get freaking bombed, but now I'm going to be slowed too, which means that I'm going to get run down. So it's made me really fish for her nests a lot more, which is
100%.
is cool. Hey, it's cool that it made me change my gameplay without even doing all that much. So
Yeah. Yeah, and it
well,
might serve like a weird dual benefit of like forcing people to really learn like you need to take the nest out when people aren't typically, and
yeah,
also making her way more efficient when
yeah,
people don't do that.
don't
Like,
right.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I mean she's that's the other thing too, right? Is like the way they've done the buffs and nerfs so far this season, just thinking about it, like Magic, I'm still gonna say that Magic received a buff. Especially playing her now, it feels that way to me.
dude, if you look at her rivals
I
meta stats at least,
I know,
it's
it's
super early.
horrifying. It's
She's like
horrifying, dude.
57% and like 19% play rate. Like, yeah.
Yeah, she's like the highest pick duelist and the highest win rate character in the game right now.
Yeah.
Like we're so screwed, dude. Season 4.5, she's gonna be a freaking
She's gonna,
toaster. She's
yeah.
getting the Adam Warlock treatment, absolutely. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I love that. Like with that, hey, Penny is one of her hardest counters, and now Penny can counter her even harder. And like, hey,
Penny
we're bringing
also
in.
is sitting at a 56% win rate.
I know, right? And then bringing in Angela, another flyer, very dangerous, controversial. Like people had a really bad time with it when Ultron came out. But now they've equipped enough vanguards post Ultron with answers to flyers, and now Invisible Woman with the slows and stuff. Like I just it, I haven't. I have heard. I mean, let's just talk about Angela, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like I have heard people say how frustrating she can be to fight against.
That's kind
But
of her job.
yeah, exactly. And it doesn't feel necessarily busted. I don't think Angela is like overpowered at all. As a matter of fact,
No.
I mentioned this while we were playing with our Armed and Dangerous our group last night. I said I think that she is, when you're not playing her well, she's like gonna be one of the worst characters you can play. She's just gonna be like a true throw pick because you're gonna be diving all over the place, fishing for, an environmental kill and doing nothing. Like it's gonna be terrible. You're not peeling for your team and you're not getting kills.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't think she's broken, but I do think that she's incredibly fun. That is for sure. She's one of the most fun characters to play for me right now.
Yeah, she kind of fits in a category with Thing of being like the Vanguard specialist. Like just how Black Panther, Spider-Man
Yeah.
are like, look, you either really need to know this character and then you're going to be ridiculous or you're going to be useless. Like her
Yeah.
and the Thing are kind of now the Vanguard specialists of like, this really is dependent on either the team comp you're up against, but also like just how well you know how to play them. And I think it's going to take a while too because her playstyle really is that harassment
Yep.
like just displacing people and keeping the team frustrated.
Yep.
Um, that I find really, really satisfying to
Oh
play,
yeah.
even when you don't get kills. But I
Yep.
think also it doesn't show up on the scoreboard as much. It's another
Yeah.
kind of Cap. She's very similar to Cap in that way.
Right.
So I think it's going to be very easy for public, like community sentiment to be like, ah, there's Angela going, 7-3 in this, 15-minute game again.
Right. Right.
But she does have a lot more execution potential. So like
Yes.
I think you can play her a lot more like pseudo DPSy too. So
Mhm.
she's been super fun, and I'm gonna be hardcore maining her this season and probably for a while.
Yeah.
Um, I really like. I made all the wrecking ball references last week, and
Yeah.
that is exactly how it felt. And it
Yep.
it just like fit like a glove when I got back into that mode of like, all right, just fly around, swoop down as soon as I see someone out of place, and it's
Yep.
been really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is crazy too how like she how assassiny she is. Like, oh
Hmm.
my goodness, if you are targeting strategists or you're targeting somebody who, like you said, is out of position, they're not in a place where a strategist can heal them up. Like her, this is something that I actually could see potentially getting nerfed. This is a weird one where like so her damage output um is so heavily modified by animation cancels, more so than any other character in the game. It feels kind of weird. I really like it. I could because I like animation cancels, but I feel like it's actually kind of ridiculous how much more damage she does with like chaining together her melees and like her shield and
Uh-huh.
stuff. I mean, there were so many times where like I would grab a 250 character, whether it be a duelist or a strategist, and I would just kill them instantly. Essentially, I would drag them somewhere else if I could get them, especially if I could get them in a corner or a wall or something where they couldn't like jump away quickly.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
kill them pretty much instantly.
Yeah.
And that
100%.
like that is crazy. I do get when people get frustrated by that, but like I don't know. It's
But
she
that's like,
also does sound like a jet engine, so you should know she's
yeah.
coming.
And it's a really heavy commit. Like she
Yeah.
is, again, that's why the Spider-Man comparison really works is like, look, Spider-Man can take you and kidnap you and kill you in a corner really quick and get out
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
But that like is what he does. And
Right,
like,
right.
yes, it's annoying, but he also isn't gonna. But
Yeah,
as a Vanguard, she is a little bit more versatile on top of just the kidnap playstyle. So
sure.
yeah. What has been really good, what I've really liked is the matchups. Like
Mhm.
she hard counters a lot of things that are really annoying, and she has a lot of pretty hard counters as well. Because they
Yeah,
didn't give her unstoppable while she's charging. Like
right.
people were, I know people were like skeptical of that, at being like, well, how is she going to be useful if she doesn't have unstoppable when she's flying around? But like, I
She
think that was a good
fast.
move. Yeah, she's really fast.
Yeah.
But like, I've been liking her for taking out flyers, taking out
Oh my
Spider-Man.
goodness, yes.
She's like such a good flyer and Spider-Man counter, and those are some of the ones that people are just super annoyed with all the time. So it's like,
Yep.
hey, like I'll gladly pick up a Vanguard that can take
Yep.
those out. Like, great.
The I'm literally grinning ear to ear right now, just thinking of it, recalling hunting down Iron Man players and just
Yes.
watching them after I get like the first hit off, watching them turn and like desperately try and like wiggle dash away. And I'm just like, it's not happening, dude. I am killing you here and now as I freaking own you. Like just the visceral joy from impaling a fleeing Iron Man and
even
killing him.
just even just being on the team on the ground when you have an Angela that's doing stuff like that, it
Yeah.
is really fun looking up in the sky
Everyone's
and you
like,
just see
yeah!
Angela just chasing down an Iron Man or an Ultron who's trying to get away.
You're the freaking dude. This is so perfect. Yeah, you're the troops. You're the soldier, the grunts on the ground, and you just have the freaking warthog air support. You hear the,
She
and
even makes
all
the
the boys
sound.
are cheering. I know, right? She has the warthog sound, and all the grunts on the ground are cheering as air support kills the Iron Man.
Yeah.
I love that image.
On the flip side, though, like I have also been really enjoying playing against her
Mhm.
because Winter Soldier, especially now that he has that
Yeah.
grounded effect on his thing, He
Yeah.
just ruins her day, and it's really
Yep.
fun. And then Penny also.
Oh yeah.
Uh, she's I had so many games as Penny where, well, I guess I only played Penny in a couple games, but there was an Angela on the other team in both, and she's got to fly through corridors if they exist
Uh-huh.
still. Like she
Right.
can't get away from that. So there's been so many times where she's swooping in with her shield up, but it's not unstoppable. So you just web
Right.
her, she lands right in your mines and blows up,
Yep.
and she has so little health
Yeah.
that like you can
Yeah.
actually kill her with the mines pretty quick. So that
Right.
that feels really good. The being able to shoot her in the sky and take the shield down, and then like chuck some mines on the ground in front of you. Like there's a lot of fun stuff with Penny.
Right.
And again, as a melee, like she can hover above the nest and take it out with some pokes, but
Yeah,
uh,
it's
it's
it
hard.
right, right. And you're
If you get
so
her standing
exposed.
still, she's in trouble. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's I've seen a lot of people like most of the impressions I see are that people think that she's not going to be like super meta. I can't say whether she's going to be or not. I think that she is good, and I think that she's going to get better as people understand how to play her more. But
yeah,
yeah, the people that I see doing really bad with her are like trying to play her like a normal tank.
right,
They're not bringing in that wrecking ball mentality that like you have going in. They're just trying to like poke with the spear and brawl and like pick up a tank like with like Wolverine and like carry him
right,
away.
yeah.
Like no, you are a spring-loaded assassin, and you're meant to just like sow chaos and break the enemy team's morale and kill their pick off their strategists and
Yeah,
their
and
loners
like
and stuff and
and you're
yeah.
not always going for the kills. Like a lot of times you're just going, all right, they've
Yeah.
got this Jeff spitting down main in their back line. I'm just gonna go move him and he's
Right.
gonna not be there healing for a while. And
Yep.
by the time he's back healing, I'll go move the other strategist. And it just without killing anyone, the other team's healing output just went down by like 70% without them
Yeah.
dying and walking back, which
Yeah.
means like you're not getting the like they come back and then it's like a
Right.
weird stagger without killing anyone.
And at least for now, because she's new, and who knows how long this will last, but at least for now, you are a very desirable target for the enemy team. They're
Right.
gonna want to kill you because of your I mean everything, because of your displacement, because of the damage, because she's new and she's loud, but
Because
because
you're
she
huge.
is right, she's freaking massive. But because she is so mobile, like you can draw a lot of enemy fire away from your team and get away. Like I
Yeah.
very, very rare when I died, I like it was every single time. It was like, yep, I overcommit. I should have turned around and ran. I either got
Yeah.
CC'd, I got outplayed, which is great, like good for you, or I like way overcommitted and I should have turned around and flown away. But almost every single time I like was careful and measured and I'm like, okay, I'm at half health, I'm gone. Like I've
Right.
picked my angle, I survived. Like she is so easy to get out of jail with.
Yeah.
That I yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing with the I we'll call it the wrecking ball like play style. I think
Yeah.
that's the thing you got to remember is that like your job as a vanguard in general, and this is why she is a vanguard, not a duelist. Your job as a vanguard in general, a lot of times is about like taking up more characters on the enemy team's attention than your team has to take up, right? Like you are
Mhm.
one person, and if you're Doctor Strange with your giant shield and you can keep two or three of the enemy team focused on you without being able to kill you, then
Right.
great. They're not focused on the other five people on your team.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
there's a massive imbalance there. And so like that is what she's able to do just by knocking people around and being annoying and getting the shield and like making them look over their shoulder is like it's very easy to get two or three people turning around and trying to deal with you, and then you're just gone. But you're not gone out of their mind, and they're
Yeah.
they're looking over their shoulder.
Right,
And
right.
her thing recharge her push recharges so
Yeah,
fast
so fast.
that you just literally take a lap around their back line and look at where the next easy place is and come right in the middle of a bunch of people, knock them
Yep.
around so they all turn around and try to shoot you and get behind a pillar somewhere. Like you
Yep.
just keep riding the roller coaster in their back line and they're not focused on the other five people that are marching right into their face. Like it's so
Right.
much fun. I
Yeah.
love that kind of stuff.
It is. It is. And there's just so much in her kit. Like we're only talking about her flight basically, and she's super deadly on the ground too. Like her
Yeah.
melee
Yeah.
combos and stuff are really gross when she's weaving that into the whole, flyer kidnapping poke stuff. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, she
My
is so much fun.
my last first impression I want to say about Angela is I'm having way more fun with the ult than I thought I would too. It's
Oh
not
yeah,
I'm not getting a lot of kills with it. There have been times where it mops up people pretty well.
yeah,
But I won a game the other day by forcing a C9 because
yes,
we had been holding them at spawn. Or no, like 3 or 4 of them had died and they were all going to rush back to try to get to the point in the last like 20 seconds. And I literally just threw the ult down on 4 people and they were all stuck on the thing and had to turn around, like shoot at the pole for a while to be
yeah,
able to get themselves unstuck. And they missed it by like a second or two, right? Like they would have
yes,
gotten to the point and caused an overtime and everything.
right,
But
right,
the ult like didn't kill anyone, didn't really even do any damage to anyone. I didn't
yep,
even launch on the ground. I just threw the first spear and then ran away so it didn't go away. And
right,
like
right,
yeah,
right,
C9, and
yep.
then you saw the enemy team going, "Oh, come on, why didn't anyone get to the point?" Like they couldn't.
Yeah, because me. No,
Yeah.
I love
Such a
that.
fun character.
Definitely. Well, the battle pass. I mean, we've really talked about this quite a bit. I'm liking it. I like the Luna skin. I've already got the winter Bucky on right now. My opinion still stands that I hope, especially after seeing the art for a clearly well themed and designed Immortal Beast battle pass. My hope is that they hire the additional resources or pace it out in such a way that they're able to kind of return to that,
Yeah.
um, because it is just kind of a weird jambalaya pot of everything. And
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I love me some jambalaya, but I'd like to
Yeah.
see the strong theme continue.
I gotta say, like, I think this definitely is my least favorite battle pass so far, and
Mm,
like, it has changed how I feel about like I'm not as excited about like oh I'm about to get something in the battle pass like I just need to finish this one more challenge. But the gameplay this season is so good that I don't really
yeah,
care right now. We'll see how I feel like halfway through the season.
right.
Um, and I want to get the Bucky skin. I'm pretty close to getting it, and then I'm excited because I'll have a Bucky skin. But like I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not super motivated by the rest of the past, to be honest. But
Mm,
um, there were a couple other thoughts I had about the season, just like random things that I wanted to check out that were like the new quality of life things. So
mhm,
the emoji list is really cool. I like it. I think it was very much designed for console though, because
mm.
the way that the mouse controls work, it's like almost like the Destiny virtual cursor thing, except you can't see your cursor. So
Yeah,
it's like
you're
you're
just like
you're doing like a
extending further out, right?
yeah, you're doing like a grid navigation thing, but you can't see where you're going, and it's kind of random, like which ones it
Yeah,
actually picks. So it's not
I bet
easy
they
to
patched
pick.
that.
I think they'll probably change that because it's really difficult to pick a specific emote, and the whole point is supposed to be that you can get it pretty easy, like while having them all out. So,
Right.
but the real thing for me with that one was I couldn't figure. I thought it was going to be a setting in the settings menu, and I couldn't find like how do I turn this thing on, right?
Yeah,
It turns out the only way is you have to go into any hero and then go to their cosmetics page and then go to their emoji page. And then there's a checkbox in the corner that says use emoji list. And
yeah.
like that was the only way to do that. So that was kind of a weird place to put it. I think it
Super
should have just been a
obtuse.
setting.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I thought when I started playing in season 4, I was like, oh, did they like delay this? Like, did they have to
Yeah.
rework something? I didn't know
Right.
until today when you found it.
I literally went back to the patch notes because I was like, I thought this was coming out at the beginning of the season. Like, I went to the roadmap. I was like, was
Right,
this
right.
later?
Is
I was
this
like,
part of
no, it
the
was.
18th update? Yeah.
And I only found it because I was just like, well, I guess I'll check the emoji page for the heroes. Like, that would be a weird place for it to be, but it's
And
not
there it
anywhere else.
was.
There it
Right,
was.
right.
But on the other hand, costume rotation
Yes.
far exceeded what I thought they were gonna do because they did exactly what I hope that every game does when they do something like this, and no one ever does. It's not just you can pick to just have a random costume out of all the ones you own. You literally get to pick which ones are in the rotation
Yep.
out of the ones you own.
Yep.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted. All of my like super awesome skins for characters are in there, and none of the ones that I don't like are in there. It's just
Yep.
wonderful. So I've switched to that on a lot of characters, and it's been nice.
Yeah, the only other game that I've seen do it is Apex Legends. Apex Legends is the first
Okay.
one that I saw that did it, where you could set you unlocked your skins, and then you could set your favorites, and then you could set to randomize your favorites. And I every like the once you've experienced that quality of life, like it is painful when it's absent. So
Yeah.
great job to the team for doing it right the first time.
Yeah. And then the last one I wanted to highlight was the Strike Squad. The Strike Squad is awesome. I love it. I love being
Yeah.
able to
Oh
filter the
yeah.
hero page even in the
Yep.
menus based on the ones that I play.
Yep.
I think I have that on. Are you able to have that on by default? I don't think you
Mm,
are. I would like to be
yeah.
able to have it on by default though.
Mm,
That's kind of my request, and to be able to have it be the default tab in when you go in game, because
right.
like you're never snap picking and insta locking a character who's not in your strike squad. That's like kind of the whole point. But you
Yeah.
still have
Right.
to go hit the tab and then insta lock.
Yeah.
So for characters like Angela, like she's already visible on the main page anyway. So it does no
Yeah.
good to have her in my strike squad. Like for Vanguards, it doesn't make any sense because they're all right there anyway. So I'd kind of like a way to start from your strike squad tab when you load in game if you can.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to be able to order them or like arrange them in a specific way because it's just the default order right now. But
I've made my case against the wheel. It's the one aesthetic thing that I think they kind of missed the mark with. But I like, just let me drag and drop. Just let me create my strike squad, because that's the other thing, right? The thing that my biggest problem with the strike squad is that it's in order of you adding them to the strike squad. So
right.
depending on how depending on the order in which you add characters to the strike squad, that is how they line up. So if you are like me and you're kind of like I basically have my mouse in position over the hero before the loading screen ends. It was just frustrating to see that, like, oh, I added Namor first, but I really want Magic in that spot, so now I got to undo Namor and then add Magic and then re-add Namor. It's just kind of like annoying.
And because it's not the default tab, like
Yeah.
really the best thing to do is to load up a whole bunch of characters you don't care about at the beginning of your strike squad so that the characters you do care about are right next to the tab. Because otherwise you're still putting a mouse way over here and then going way over to the other side of the screen to get the people that you picked.
Right.
So and that's why I'm saying, like, I think there needs to be a setting to make it default
That's
and
the
then
real
maybe another
meta.
setting to order it. But
It's not the strikeout squad, it's the strikeout squad.
yeah.
You put everybody you don't want. Oh,
But I
man.
really like it on the hero menu for looking
Yeah.
at like characters that you're trying to lure and stuff like that. Because I've
See
got it now
proficiencies.
where
Yeah.
like I can just look at like one page of just the heroes that I really actually play instead
Right.
of having to scroll down 3 pages to find Winter Soldier to figure out how close I am to the next rank, So
now if they can just update their website so that every single time I click on heroes, it doesn't automatically open up Adam Warlock. And I can just go to the hero page to see what I want
that
to
would
see.
be nice. Okay, here's my request for 4.5 now. Now that we have strike squads. It's okay. It's okay, Netties. You can only put it in quick play. In fact, please only put it in quick play. But can we have buttons at the bottom of the hero wheel on our strike squad page of pick a random Vanguard, pick a random duelist, or pick a random strategist
Just
out of our
cycle.
That would be pretty fun.
I think you just need to get you need to get a D3 and a D20, and you roll the D3 to determine your roll, and then you assign a number to each hero.
Well,
and
I
you
have
roll the
that.
D20.
That's our Armed and Dangerous program that we use.
Wow, what an incredible coincidence. Sebastian, take it away.
Hey chat, Sebastian Stan here, Armed and Dangerous again.
Thank you, Sebastian, and take that, Josiah. I finally won an Armed and Dangerous game.
You did, and it was not pretty. Most of our game, I may have had a nice winning streak, but I think we can both say that pretty much all of those games were pretty close for the most part.
Yeah.
This was a disrespectful curb stomp. So I will not be selecting 4 vanguards again with one duelist, one strategist. That did not play out well. And yeah, we were like, it was just, we were so countered by everyone on your team and had no answers to any of your mobility. You as Angela, Spider-Man, and then freaking, of course,
Star-Lord.
our Star-Lord. Yeah, your Star-Lord, MVP Star-Lord. So yeah, we just got absolutely demolished. But it was still very fun, as all of these always are, because it's just such a blast to play with our community. And we kept playing. We played a bunch of custom games after. We all played a Doom match together before. Like, guys, if you're listening and you're not on the Discord, come on in. Like, we have a lot of fun, and we're we'll talk about it. We're probably gonna, now that Nick and I are in the same time zone, we're probably gonna like change the date to make it more accessible for people. So we'll do some research there. But anyway, yeah, join up, play Armed and Dangerous with us. We were missing one person on each team, so we still have room.
Some space, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to put out a poll on the Discord this week just to kind of gather, like, hey, what day of the week is best for everyone? Because we've been doing it the night that we record, and it was a lot of fun to not have to just disappear as soon as the game was over and actually just be able to keep playing. So we're going to see if we can move it to a day that works better. So watch out for the poll in the Discord if you're in there. And then, this was super fun. I have to say, we played Unburdened T'Challa, which was my choice because I felt like with Angela, we needed to have all the places for the environmental kills. And I got to get my waterfall kill.
Yeah.
And that made me happy. That was all I wanted. So it was a fun game.
Yeah, look at I didn't notice this until right now. Only your bot died more than twice. As we're sitting with double digits. 7 deaths, 9 deaths, 10 deaths, 11 deaths. I had the most deaths, but I did get SVP, so at least there's that. Tried to redeem myself. Anyway.
Yeah. This is a super fun game. Thanks everyone for coming out.
Yes.
All right, well, let's figure out what we're doing for this week. I think we said we wanted to do one of the new arcade modes. So do we want to do free fight and just like make sure the randomizer lets us continue to pick characters multiple times if they show up again, or
oh man, that would be interesting. I'm down for that. I'm down for either that or let's do that to start, because that's something totally new. No one's experienced that yet.
Yeah, the other thing that's an option is I'm using a different randomizer this week because I haven't put Angela into ours yet. But the one that I'm using this week has an option to do team ups. So we could draft a team up each that has to be part of it, and then we get all 3 of those characters, and then we draft the rest of the characters.
I don't know. Let's just do the free fight.
Just free fight? Okay.
Yeah, and just
I'm not sure how likely we already get the same character multiple times.
I know. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I feel like I feel like we do quite a bit.
That's true. But, yeah. Okay. Then you know what? Why not? How about this? In order to make it more likely that we'll get duplicate characters, because that's the fun of free fight anyway, right? Yeah. Let's nominate from a pool of 3 instead of 2. Because that'll give us more character options.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. All right, so your first pick. Do we want to do the strategist? The guaranteed strategist? You've been stuck with one strategist a lot. I think we...
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay. Then, let's see. We got Loki, Rocket, or Cloak and Dagger?
I'm going to go with Rocket.
Okay. And then I get Invis, Cloak and Dagger, or Mantis. I think I'm gonna go with Mantis. No, I already locked it in. That was a bad choice. All right, well, hopefully
Mantis
I get a second
is never
one.
a bad choice. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay, Penny Parker, Hulk, or Rocket?
Rocket! Yes, it's happening! Oh my gosh, that's why I picked Rocket. I was like, I'm going for the Rocket build. Give me the BRBs.
Okay, I can't visually put two Rockets on here, but I'll write it down.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my choices are Human Torch, Angela, or Hela.
Ooh.
I want to go Angela, and I want to play her again.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Rocket 3.
You're gonna get a third Rocket. I need to actually write this down because none of this is in our regular program. Okay.
Right.
You get Emma, Star-Lord, or Mantis.
I am going to play Emma.
Okay, that's
Even
what
though they
I
nerfed her.
Expected that from you. Okay, I get Spider-Man, Jeff, or Mantis.
Oh.
Okay, I gotta
do it.
Two Mantises versus two Rockets.
Yes.
Okay, The Thing, Magic, or Wolverine.
Magic.
Okay.
Dang. I mean, good selection. Magic or Emma. I'm still happy.
Yeah. And then I get Loki, Star-Lord, or the Punisher. Loki.
Dang, two
for
Mantises
sure.
and a Loki. Keeping those
Oh,
damage buffs up.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Triple strategist terror.
Blade, Black Widow, or Scarlet Witch for you. Keep in mind you have two Rockets and Emma and a Magic.
Yeah, I am gonna go with Witch.
Okay.
I need an answer I need someone who can hit flyers.
I get Mr. Fantastic, Squirrel Girl, or Jeff. Let's go Squirrel Girl.
Oh, interesting. No front line so far.
Well, yeah, you're right. You get Emma, The Thing, or Hela.
Oh man. Oh baby. Hela is definitely the right option. Why am I so drawn to screwing myself over with these vanguards? But two Emmas, I'm doing it. Two Emmas,
two Emmas,
two Rockets.
It's the only right option. All right, then I get Psylocke, Rocket, or Hawkeye. Do I go 4 strategists and have a Rocket as well?
Yes. Yeah. Make the decision I made last week and suffer.
Rocket. No. We're doing it.
Oh my gosh.
I have no front line. So I'm Angela as my 1 tank, Squirrel Girl as my 1 DPS. And then Loki, Rocket, Mantis.
I feel pretty good about this.
You're rocking 2-2-2 with Emma, Magic, Witch, Rocket.
Yes.
We got 3 rats in this game.
Rat army assemble.
This is gonna be absolutely the worst game we've ever played in our life of anything.
I am so hyped for it.
All right.
Well,
if you want to join this awful game, join our Discord.
Yeah. And though I did snub him in this Armed and Dangerous, it's time to talk about Blade. Blade! There's only one Blade, and there's only ever gonna be one Blade. It is the Blade Hero Spotlight, everybody. Blade is sitting here at my 9th Hero Spotlight as my 11th most played hero. And Nick, what's going on, dude?
He's my 32nd most played because I play this game a lot.
Yeah, that is true.
I have played him quite a bit, but not as much as everyone else.
It is possible that you could even have as much, if not more, playtime than me and still be in that position because our disparity of playtime is pretty significant. But yeah, I like Blade a lot. He very much would have been my last Hero Spotlight had I not pivoted to make sure that he wasn't immediately my next Hero Spotlight. Yeah. So yeah, we'll jump into the lore here then, I guess.
All right, let's see if my voice holds up long enough to talk through all this.
Yeah.
I've been sick for 2 weeks now, and it's getting worse. Um,
No, wait.
yeah. So, Eric Brooks, who is Blade, spoiler alert,
Yeah.
was born in Soho, London, in the very recent year of 1929,
Wow.
and he had a rough start to life, you could say, because the doctor that birthed him was secretly a vampire and bit his mom while she was giving birth. What the heck?
Yeah.
Read the room, dude. And it killed his mom, but it tainted his blood with vampire blood rather than converting him entirely. So that made him something called a Dampier, which is not fully a vampire, but has
Right.
some related traits. So yeah, so so he was raised in man. There's a lot of references that I can't make based on our family friendly rating this week.
There
A house
is a
of
house
ill repute
in
as
the
an orphan. Yeah.
It's called the Rising Sun.
Yes. Thank you. And and so basically he grew up on the streets, but at one point he meets and saves an American vampire hunter named Jamal Afari, who takes him under his wing and trains him to be a vampire hunter. So, and like recognizes he finds out about his bloodline thing and thinks like, oh, you're going to be extra good at this because of your half vampire traits. So, uh, this is not that deep, but Blade names himself Blade after his blades that he uses to
Yeah.
fight vampires, and
Yep.
he basically becomes a vampire hunter to avenge his mom. So, um, yeah, go for it.
Have you seen the very first time that Blade was introduced in the comments?
No, I
In the
haven't.
comments, wow, in the comics.
No, I haven't.
Here you go.
Hit me with it.
He just has a freaking Bowie knife and like a bunch of stakes strapped to his chest. He doesn't even have like a sword or a katana or anything.
That is
He's
awesome.
just straight up shanking vampires with a sick afro and green peacoat.
I know. I was gonna say he
and
looks
yellow shades.
he looks like Pulp Fiction Samuel L. Jackson
He
with a
does.
bunch of Crocodile Dundee knives struck to his,
Yeah.
to his chest. That's kind of awesome.
It's pretty great.
So anyway, oh, my notes just disappeared. Anyway, so he puts together a team and they decide to go after Dracula. So they trick him into meeting him, where they say like, "Hey, we know vampires are going to take over the world, so why don't we help you instead of you killing us when you take over the world? Come meet us and we'll talk about it." And then they all attack him and stab him in the chest with a whole bunch of wooden stakes, and they kill
Blade.
Dracula. Yeah, and they kill him. But he's a vampire, so his followers just resurrect him pretty quick, and he kills all of them except for Blade and one other guy.
Dang.
So he's already killed Dracula once, but it didn't go well for him. And then basically, like a lot of Blade stories just kind of involve obviously like vampire hunting and stuff, but a lot of them involve him trying to find the vampire that killed his mom. But he's also a founding member of the Midnight Suns.
Heck yeah.
So there was an awesome game for Midnight Suns a few years ago that it's like a card battler strategy thing.
Firaxis.
Yeah, made by
Great
the XCOM. No, not yeah.
Yep.
XCOM
Yeah.
people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I still want to play more of that game. That game was fun.
It's
But
incredible.
the original Midnight Suns roster consists of Blade, and then a guy named Frank Drake, who is a direct descendant of Dracula. Then a guy named Hannibal King, who is a vampire detective. Ghost Rider, and Johnny Blaze separately from Ghost Rider. Like he's not currently Ghost Rider's host at the time, or Ghost Rider might not even have a host at the time.
It's just
But
the
Johnny
spirit of
Blaze
vengeance.
still hanging out, like fighting with him. Doctor Strange, Morbius, and a gaggle of random other people named the Darkhold Redeemers.
Heck yeah.
That kind of look like they're just like the Mystery Machine gang, like kind of just hanging out with all the vampires.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So basically, what the Midnight Suns are supposed to do is they're supposed to keep the regular world safe from like dark realms, vampires, demons, like all the spooky Halloween monsters from coming in and taking over the world. So makes sense that Doctor Strange kind of puts that team together with Blade, and yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we'll get a Doctor Strange Blade team up at some point. That would be pretty
Oh,
cool.
dude, that would be super cool.
We get like especially if Ghost Rider ever comes to the game, you could just get like a Midnight Suns team up. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, so at one point, Blade gets bit by Morbius, and he's turned into, by that blood, he's turned into what is called a Daywalker, which is basically a vampire that's OP. Like they
Yeah.
can walk around in the sunlight. They don't have really any of the typical vampire weaknesses. Um, but he does get like the vampire bloodthirst thing going on. But conveniently, since he's a hero, he also gets a serum that he can have that is more nutritious than actual blood for him.
Yeah. Right.
That as long as he takes it like once a week or something, he doesn't have to kill anyone.
Clearly, Reed Richards did not make the serum because, as we learned from our thing here at Spotlight, had he made the serum, it would have been like, well, one time a year, you don't have
You don't
to
have to
feast
kill
on
someone that-
human blood. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so here's his powers. Basically, the physiology he has because of being half vampire. He's immune to normal vampire bites, which is useful when you're a vampire hunter.
Yeah.
He can sense like supernatural things, which is a very vague, very vague. Like, what does that entail?
Yeah.
And he's resistant to aging. But then once he got bit by Morbius, he got a lot of the vampire strengths without their weaknesses. So he also now has super strength, super senses, super speed, super stamina, a healing factor. He can't like regrow limbs or anything. He's not like Wolverine style, but he can heal a lot faster than other people. But his
Yeah.
senses are like incredible. Like see in pitch black, hear things from miles away, smell whether something is a vampire from miles away.
Right. Right.
Crazy, crazy senses. And then this is probably like one of the weirdest ones. He can basically like suck contaminants out of someone's blood and pass them through himself and dispense of them, or inject someone with something that he's metabolized in his blood, like cures for diseases and stuff like that, by biting them.
Dude,
So he's like his own blood transfusion bag, basically.
the new Blade vaccine serum. Wild.
I know. And then at one point, he also drinks Dracula's blood, and that gives him even more powers. So now he can also transform into a swarm of bats, like a dark smoke mist kind of thing, or a wolf for some reason. I feel like being a wolf is kind of like the opposite of what a vampire would want to do, but
Right.
yeah. Now he's also a werewolf, I guess. But
There you go.
But I think his craziest power must be self-exorcism. So when something tries to possess him, which happens a lot, he can basically retain control of himself while this thing is in him, and then also get rid of it in a lot of cases himself. So he just kind of like, I don't know, clenches his cheeks really hard and the demon flies out. I don't know how it works, but yeah.
Yeah.
Don't try
Nice.
to take over Blade's body. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah.
So let's just wrap up with just some Blade fun facts that I thought were interesting. He took up the Ronin mantle for a little while from Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And
Didn't
a
know that, actually.
spider hero. He was mysteriously this like spider hero, but it was actually Blade. This is my favorite one about his like gadgets and weapons and stuff. Okay, on his utility belt, he has weapons that deploy silver, garlic, sunlight, UV rays, and blood thinners.
I love that sunlight and UV rays are split up.
Yeah.
that it's somehow he's managed to divide the ultraviolet rays from sunlight. What is left in sunlight?
My favorite is him just chucking blood thinners at people.
Yeah, blood. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, just shoving an aspirin pill down the vampire's throat. That is good stuff.
And then the last couple things are he's apparently a big fan of I Am Legend, the book. It's kind of
Not
fitting for him.
not of Will Smith. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They just mentioned it was the book. It may have been from before the movie came out, but
Yeah.
and then he is a jazz trumpeter and has been a professional musician from time to time to pay the bills. He had a period in like the 70s or 80s where he played jazz trumpet by night and then hunted vampires by night or night.
It's just it's a lot of night.
Yeah, yeah,
You'd
yeah.
think he'd make enough money by killing centuries old creatures who run the world and have amassed tons of wealth, but
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
this is
Um,
this is this is more fun.
Yeah. So his first appearance was in Tomb of Dracula #10, April 1973. It's interesting to me that Dracula and like just straight up like folklore vampires were part of the Marvel universe at least 10 episodes before Blade.
Yeah.
I would have thought that Dracula would have gotten brought into Marvel because they had a vampire hunter, not the other way around. But
Yeah.
um, and then his first appearance in the MCU. So the one that I think people are going to think is Deadpool and Wolverine when they brought back Wesley Snipes,
Right.
right? But that actually wasn't the first time Blade was in the MCU. Um, the post-credit
What?
scene for the Eternals, if you remember that movie exists.
No, I never saw it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the only time besides the Deadpool and Wolverine Wesley Snipes reprisal that we've seen Blade in the MCU. So he appears to not Jon Snow. I forget I
Kit
forget what the
Harington.
character's name is, but he's played by Kit Harington. So
Yeah.
I was just calling him Jon Snow the whole movie.
Yeah.
So Jon Snow, the inheritor of the Black Knight mantle.
Yeah, the Black Knight, right.
And
right.
so he's basically in the movie he's not the Black Knight, but he knows that his family has this thing. So he's like staring at the ebony blade at the end of the movie in his office or house or something, and Blade shows up behind him and says like, "Are you sure you're ready to wield that?" And he's played by Mahershala Ali, and he's not credited in the movie, but basically he had petitioned Marvel saying after he was Cottonmouth in Luke Cage, he petitioned Marvel saying like, "I want to be Blade. Can we do a Blade movie?"
Dude.
And that's how the Blade movie project started. And so they put him in that post credit scene, and we still haven't seen it. And then at some point when they got Wesley Snipes back for Deadpool and Wolverine, I think they maybe said like, you know what? Actually, I think we're just going to go back with Wesley Snipes and do a Blade movie with him. And so now, with Wesley Snipes not doing it, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get back the guy that
goodness.
literally started the project by asking them, and then they said, no, we're going to use Wesley Snipes instead. Like, so I don't know what's going on there, but yeah.
Wow. I'm so intrigued by this backstory now. I need to do way more because wow. I feel like he would be a really good Blade, but I mean, obviously,
100%. Yeah, he would.
And I know the Wesley Snipes situation is really complicated. It's like I know that it seems like a him thing, but from what I've read, like it really makes a lot of sense why it is a him thing. Like he was like super. Yeah. Well, if you've seen the Blade movies, Blade Trinity is not a good movie.
Right. Yeah.
And he like really hated that, and it went that way not because of him. He was like actively fighting against it, which unfortunately made the movie even worse. Like there's an infamous part where at the end of Blade Trinity, they had to CG him opening his eyes because he refused to do it.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like levels of petty, but not petty, like because he made this character. Like Blade would not be in Marvel Rivals had Wesley Snipes not portrayed Blade in that original trilogy. And so I see a lot of people like be really angry with Wesley Snipes, and I get it. It seems like he's been pretty jerkish in some of these scenarios, but I also like understand why.
I also remember when Deadpool and Wolverine came out, it was like a big surprise that he was in it.
Yeah.
And playing Blade in it.
Right.
Because the last time he had played Blade was Blade Trinity.
Yeah.
And that had Ryan Reynolds in it. And apparently he just like hated Ryan Reynolds because of all of this stuff about what was going on that making the movie really bad. And I think he felt like Ryan Reynolds was part of that.
Yeah. The
And
funny
so
thing
like
is,
it's like,
oh,
how
sorry.
did he get him to agree? Like, hey, I'm making a Deadpool movie. Do you want to play Blade again in it? Like,
Right.
that's just one of those like Ryan Reynolds making a joke via the universe that like, like how
Yeah,
does this
yeah.
work?
Ryan Reynolds is also like just straight up Deadpool in Blade as well.
Yeah.
Like the way his character and mannerisms and stuff he is the exact same person. It's really funny. Anyway,
Anyway, the voice actor in Rivals is Gabe Kunda.
hmm,
So he's been. We talked about. Did we talk about Diablo 4, or was that just the backstory to your
that was
thing?
the
And
backstory. Yeah,
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 yeah. We were talking, yeah, before the episode about Diablo 4. But in Inarius, I
yeah.
haven't played Diablo 4, but he's
He's one of the
Inarius.
angels. Yeah, one of
Okay.
the angels.
If you played Hi-Fi Rush, which was a huge hit last year, indie game, like
Ripped to their
music
studio.
based, yeah, music based, awesome, cool thing.
Action game. Yeah,
His character in that was Macaron.
Macron.
Um, he was Bat Devil in Chainsaw Man, which
Heck
just
yeah,
felt like
those.
it felt like I had to put it there because of Blade, and because I know a lot of people like Chainsaw Man, but
Also, what an incredible band name, Bat Devil Chainsaw Man. Let's let's do it.
he's not new to hero shooters because he was KO in Valorant.
Ah,
He was Digby Vermouth in Borderlands 3,
hmm.
and a boss named Wastard in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Bastard.
Yeah. So, he's done some Gearbox stuff. And
Yeah.
then he was also Newcastle
Oh,
in Apex
Newcastle.
Legends
Yeah, sweet.
and Rocklock in My Hero Academia
Have not seen.
and a lot of other anime.
Yeah,
But I
cool.
picked out My Hero because I know a lot of people like that one. I
Yeah.
recognized it.
Yes, 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 yes.
I knew an anime thing.
I
Woo.
know. Yeah, wow. Check that out. That's wild. Cool. Well, that's Blade, and now let's talk about Blade. So in Marvel Rivals, of course, he is a duelist, and we have him down here as a brawler. He's got a little bit of brawl, a little bit of dive, but primarily brawling. He is a controversial character in that I think people are still feel that he's underpowered. I understand that I mean, I guess we should probably get through his abilities before
Yeah, we'll get to the stats at the
talking
end.
about that.
We
But
can talk about that. Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense why people think that, and maybe there is a little bit of truth to it. But anyway, all right. So kicking it off.
Statistically, there is. Yeah.
Statistically, there certainly is. Yeah. So he has two primary weapons. His first is his ancestral sword. So it's a melee attack. He does 20. This is not updated. 22. It's actually 24 now. 24 damage per single slash. And then does a double strike that causes 13 damage per hit, 4.5 meter distance, and he does 2 strikes per second. I don't want to say too much more about that until we get into some of his other abilities that enhance this sword strike. So if he swaps weapons, he swaps to his hunter's shotgun, which if you were here for our Blade impressions, is very misleading.
Hunter sniper rifle. Yeah.
Yeah. Hunter sniper rifle, which is it. Yeah. Anyway, so
The reverse shotgun.
it's a reverse shotgun. Does less damage in their face and does more damage up to a sweet spot. But anyway, so the initial projectile maximum distance is 8 meters. So if you're behind that, if you're at 9 meters, you get a little like audio cue when you're firing this that you're in that like sweet spot range where you're doing more damage. The projectile speed is 150 meters per second. Fire rate of 2 shots per second. The initial projectile damage is 45. The shrapnel amount is 12. The damage per shrapnel is 8. Shrapnel projectile speed is 150. Shrapnel damage fall off begins at 20 meters, decreasing to 40% at 30 meters. This is a really complicated breakdown that I don't really know how to interpret into like what you're actually experiencing in game. None of these numbers quite make like add up to make total sense to me, but of course it will for Nick, who's raising his hand here. So I'll let him take this one.
Okay, so it all comes from this description, which says it projectile fires in a straight trajectory, which breaks into shrapnel after reaching a certain distance. So basically, what you would expect. This is why it's a weird like mid-range shotgun, because what you would expect a shotgun to do immediately, it doesn't do. It's a slug if it hits you up close, and that's what the initial projectile 45 damage is. At 8 meters or further, then it actually explodes, and you get a regular shotgun blast. And
with
that ends up
that do 8 damage each.
Yeah, right. So it ends up being 96.
Yeah.
From that. So it's over double damage if you're further away than 8 meters. So you really do want to hang out, at like that 10-meter range. But you don't want to hang out too far out from that, because then you get damage fall off and it's spreading out at that point. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, cool. I sold myself short. Anyway, moving on to his Bloodline Awakening. So this is the big one here. So his E ability, this awakens his Dampier bloodline, enhancing slash speed during continuous attacks and triggering Whirlwind Slash. While in this state, he also suffers reduced healing, but his attacks gain lifesteal. So the lifesteal proportion is 60%. This got a little bit of a buff. And his self-reduced healing proportion is 40%. So he's taking 40% less healing from all sources here. He does get a movement Spood Beast. Spood Beast. He gets a Spood Beast. He gets a movement speed boost of 1.5 meters per second with a max attack speed boost buff stack. Holy crap. Say that 10 times fast. Well, he gets it 10 times, this attack speed boost buff stack. He gets a yeah. Left click hit buff stack. Every left click hit is 1. His shift hit buff stack is 5. Pull it together, man. His attack speed boost proportion from each buff stack is 10%. Duration of each stack is 0.7 seconds. Whirlwind Slash damage is 56. Hits to trigger Whirlwind Slash is 5. So let me break this down for you. While he's in Bloodline Awakening, he can only use his sword. So no Hunter Shotgun here. He can only use a sword. Every time he pulls off his main combo with his sword, which is a 5-hit combo, he does a Whirlwind Slash, which is where he does a freaking sick anime spin with both of his blades, and does an additional 56 damage, and also gets 5 stacks from it. So every time he gets a hit, he's gaining a 10% increase to his attack speed, maxing out at freaking 100% attack speed, which is
known as a left click hit buff stack.
yeah. Left click hit buff stack, or if you prefer, what I don't even know how I said it wrong anymore.
I have it here because I was gonna text it to you in like 3 months when you forgot about it. A Spood Beast.
A Spood Beast. A Spood Beast. That's what makes Blade a true Spood Beast. So all of these attacks are getting him that 60% lifesteal, but being counterbalanced against his 40% self-healing reduction. And then also he is able to see heroes who are low health. I believe it doesn't say on here. I believe the damage threshold is 20%. He's able to see low health heroes through walls up to a certain radius, which also isn't listed here, but it's pretty far away. You don't have to be all that close to see where they are. So Blade is able to hunt people down and assassinate them, which is where I say he's a brawl dive, because this incentivizes you to kind of sneak around and get into that enemy backline and pick off weak heroes and things like that. So we'll keep talking about this, but Blade is one where you really need to get through his entire kit to start really talking about how you play him. So his next ability is Daywalker Dash, which is a shift. So he dashes forward And whether you're wielding his gun or his sword, you can use this ability, but each one has a different effect. So if you're wielding your gun, you shoot at enemies upon impact and apply a healing reduction effect. If you're wielding your sword, you do a whirlwind slash that we just talked about, that spinning attack, and it also slows the enemy. So
That's known as the shift hit buff stash.
yeah, you couldn't even say it.
No, I couldn't.
Shifted, but shit. I'm gonna demonetize us by saying this wrong.
That's okay. We don't make any money either. We don't make money anyway.
That's right. Still in the negative, but that's okay. We do it for you. Give us a review. This dash has a 15-meter distance. It does 20 damage on impact, and then the healing reduction is a 40% healing reduction. The duration of that is 3.5 seconds. That's, again, if he hits them with the hunter's shotgun equipped. If he hits them with the sword equipped, he slows them for 35 seconds. He slows them by 35% for 1 second. And then
he slowed them for 35 seconds.
For 35 seconds. Why is this the most cursed hero spotlight we've ever done?
There's just so many pieces to this.
Yeah.
This ability.
Oh my gosh. Also, it's been a long day.
Yeah, and this is the first time that I've ever been recording at 1 a.m.
Yeah, that's true.
We're both tired now. Yeah.
Yep. But the gun second hit damage. So no matter what, you do 40 damage when you 20 damage when you hit the enemy. Then if you hold a gun, it does an additional 20 damage. So you're doing 40 altogether. And then if you hit them with the sword, you do 15 damage per hit, 4 hits in total. Yeah. Now, remember when we talked about Bloodline Awakening, every time he hits somebody, he gets a stack of 10% increased damage speed. Well, that also applies if you use Daywalker Dash while you have Bloodline Awakening active. So when he hits people, obviously you're only going to have your sword out because you can only have your sword out in Bloodline Awakening. But when he hits people, he's going to instantly do the Whirlwind Slash and rack up 5 stacks and be attacking 50% faster. He's already going to be halfway to max. So, and you have 2 charges of this, by the way, the Daywalker Dash that have a cooldown that's unfortunately also not listed here. Come on, Marvel Rivals, be better. But so you can pop Bloodline Awakening and double Daywalker Dash into somebody to initiate a fight, and within essentially 1 second have 100% increased attack speed and absolutely destroy people.
And that's how you melt a Groot.
And that is how you melt a Groot. How you cut them branches down.
Yep.
His last ability before his ultimate team up is his Scarlet Shroud. It may be his last, but you cannot sleep on this. This is essential to staying alive as Blade and being effective. So this is a parry. He parries with his ancestral sword to become unstoppable for a brief period, reducing damage taken from the front and decreasing the cooldown of Daywalker Dash. Every time I look at you, dude, I start fumbling. All right.
You're talking like fumbling over all these words, and I'm over here just like passing out. Absolutely falling asleep.
Yeah,
guys, this is rough. If this episode gets out to you, it was an accomplishment.
That's true. All right. So this has an energy meter. So there's no cooldown. There is a cooldown, but you have to manage the energy bar. So the longer you hold it, the less you'll be able to continue to use it, even when it's off cooldown. Right. So it has 120 maximum energy. It has a cost of 60 a second, so you can only hold it for 2 seconds. An energy recovery speed of 15 per second.
12 seconds to get it back.
Yeah, right. With a cooldown. Right. With a 15 energy cost just to pop it. And then it has a 3-second cooldown. Now, the unstoppable part of this only lasts for less than a half a second. So it's 0.4 seconds after activation. So it's like you're playing a FromSoft game here. You actually have to hit that parry window to get the unstoppable effect. However, you do get the 80% damage reduction for the whole time, which is huge. The things that you can tank with this that would kill any other person in the game. I mean, from ultimates to combos and all kinds of stuff. It's using this correctly is pivotal to your survival.
And
And then this,
it's directional. It's like cap shield.
yes,
So you have to
yes,
actually be facing whatever hits you to
right.
get the damage reduction.
And there's some weird stuff with it too. We talked about how buggy Angela's ult was in the last video, and Blade. Part of that is just like they have a weird. We have talked many times about the levers that they have. Well, the more things they add to the game, the more we see like a little bit of how weird things can get behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the directional thing, like Namor's ult, you have to aim at the ground to avoid getting the knockdown effect, but then otherwise you'll like get knocked down and take the full damage. So there's some weird stuff with this, but in general, if you're facing your enemy, you're going to be fine. And then the other very important part of this ability is that every 200 damage resisted grants a full charge for Daywalker Dash.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're using your dash to get into combat, or you're taking the risky move to blow both of them with Bloodline Awakening active to get that 100% attack speed bonus right off the bat, you need to be making sure that you're using the Scarlet Shroud. And of course, you can use this whether or not you're holding your Hunter shotgun or your sword. It's not dependent on any of that. So yeah.
Yeah, I like this because it does give you a nice move that like. So I think of his Daywalker dashes as being very similar to Magic's like two portals, right? Like you're managing the same kind of resources of like, okay,
Yep.
I'm getting in, fighting, and getting out before I die,
Yep.
and I have two dashes to work with. But the nice thing with Blade is when you've used up those two dashes and then you get in trouble, like if you Scarlet Shroud and defend yourself, it's very likely that if you were really in enough trouble that that you were thinking like I got to get out, that you're gonna block 200 damage and get a free dash, and then just be able to like block, and then let it go, turn around and dash out as soon as you can. So it's really nice getting that little extra like, yeah, the extra protection against making an error,
right,
to be able to defend yourself really quick and then get a dash to get out.
Yeah. You have two defensive measures baked into one ability in his kit, which is really great for just playing him smoothly. So to close out his abilities with his ultimate, it is 1,000-fold slash. So he charges power and draws the Sword of Dracula to execute a powerful Iaido strike as he dashes forward, leaving behind a slashing zone where the sword automatically strikes enemies, and all enemies hit suffer reduced healing. So 2,800, huh?
And aura farming like crazy.
Yeah, and aura farming like crazy. Yeah, cool guys don't watch explosions, and Blade doesn't watch the 1,000 cuts. Slices enemies into oblivion. So he gets this when he reaches 2,800 energy for his ultimate, which is not very high. Yeah. It has a self-slow reduction while he's charging this up of 25%. It has a maximum charge time of 3 seconds to hold it up to get out as far as he can. The charge time for max distance is only 1 second. And then his dash distance is 10 meters. Minimum, starts at 10, and then the maximum distance is 24 after it's fully charged. The direct hit damage of slashing through anybody is 100. Then the spell field damage over time is 225 a second. And then wow. And then the spell field range So across the entire dash distance has a width of 6 meters and a height of 4.5 meters. It's a rectangle projecting out with a 2-second spell field duration. So it does 500 damage basically, 600 damage if you hit everybody, and then it does healing reduction of 20%, and that healing reduction lasts for 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Whew.
There's Blade.
There's Blade. It's really good. That ultimate is extremely nasty, very high kill potential, very high setup potential with the healing reduction and having done so much damage. Anybody, if you're coordinating with your team, anybody who is still alive is going to be much easier to pick off. Now let's talk a little bit about his. I'll cover his team up, and then we'll talk a little bit about his like kit in totality and some play style tips that I think are really important for getting the most out of Blade. Because Blade is one of those heroes. If you've been listening, I said it when he was announced and we saw his kit. I said it after. Like, he is not easy to play. He's very easy to fumble with and be terrible.
Yeah. If you couldn't tell by how many things are going on in each of these abilities, he's not easy to play.
Right. So he has one team up, and it's Moon Knight's team up with Cloak and Dagger with a little extra sauce. So when Cloak and Dagger's in the game, he gets New Moon, and he's able to create a light and dark realm where he becomes invisible, gains healing over time, and then Blade gets the additional effect of he gets a swift strike ability. So his whatever key you have it bound to, it's C by default or on controller. I'm not sure. When you use the New Moon ability and you're sitting in that invisible healing field, if you have a target within range, which I'm going to throw a number out that feels right. I want to say it's like between 10 and 20 meters. You'll get a little icon around them showing you that you can reactivate this ability to dash out. And I believe it doesn't say it here, but I believe it's 20 damage. So you can dash right out of the invisibility healing field, do 20 damage, and now you're right in their face, ready to unleash.
Pretty sure you have to be invisible to be able to do it, right?
You do. You have to be in that field to do it.
That can be really, really tricky because you can get knocked out of your invisibility while you're still standing in the field, but still not be invisible, and then be hitting your button, being like, "Why can't I dash?"
Right. Yeah. I've seen a lot of streamers do that while playing him, where they use it in a damaging field or something to try and get this off. They're like, the ability's broken. It's like, nah, it's actually not broken. It's just you have to
hard
be
to pull
invisible.
off.
Yeah. Right. So Blade is all about combos, momentum, finding the right target, and executing people who are out of position on their own, whittling people down by getting healing reduction out there. Like, that's where he has these two really distinct play styles of yes, like he's the hunter who seeks down weak targets and executes them, but he's also really essential in a lot of team, like if you're playing him to keep tanks with stacks of healing reduction, because being able to burn down a tank with a 40% healing reduction is huge. And that gives him a really unique place in the game that no one else has. No one has any sort of healing reduction abilities except for Blade. So I think they even said that's why they released him maybe a little bit undertuned, because they didn't want him to break the entire game with the healing reduction stuff. So
that tank killing potential is why I made the joke about that's how you kill a Groot earlier. Is like,
yeah,
the Groot in particular feels very in trouble when there's a Blade. Like, for some reason, just because he's big and he doesn't have any movement to get out.
Yeah, no mobility.
Like, if you get all the stacks on your bloodline going, like, Groot just melts.
Yeah, right.
He can't really do anything about it because he can't put a wall up between you when you're right on top of him. Like,
yeah. Yeah. So how I like to play Blade is sit longer than you want to with the hunter's shotgun. I think a lot of people, the temptation is whip out the sword. I mean, of course, he's Blade. Whip out the sword, pop Bloodline Awakening, and just hunt people down melee only. I know some people do that, and hey, if it works out, it works out. But the the general strategy, again, think of the math that Nick did for you guys. 96 damage without critting.
Right.
He's doing over 120 damage if he's pulling off crits with the hunter's shotgun. Now, granted, it is a little tricky to get those kind of headshots off and get all the shrapnel on the target and whatnot, but it's not as hard as you might think.
Yeah.
Especially they don't list gosh dang, wow, they really dropped the ball with some of these things. They don't list how much ammo it has too. But when you think about how much I think Winter Soldier is like, what is it? Is it 70 per hit or something like that?
Yeah,
like
something like that. 70 or 75.
And he's only got 3. He's only got 3 bullets. Blade at least has double that. I want to say it's 6. It might
I'll
be
find
even
it right now.
Okay, cool. To be able to do that much damage with that much forgiveness of having potentially double the ammo capacity of Winter Soldier is outrageous. So you can just straight up kill people with the hunter shotgun. You can play hunter shotgun only Blade if you want. But what I generally recommend is that you poke at people with this. And by poke, I mean poke with a really big, sharp shotgun-shaped stick. And that's crazy. Nick just pulled up the official Marvel Rivals page, and it's not on there either.
Yeah, it's not there.
Now he's scouring the internet. So, yeah, you whittle him down with Hunter Shotgun, and then when the time is right, you pop Bloodline Awakening, and you dive in. So Bloodline Awakening, obviously, it pulls out your sword immediately. So you get close enough with the Hunter Shotgun. Once you are not in that sweet spot any longer, you're closer. You're at 8 meters or closer. Remember, his dash is 10 meters. So as soon as you're in there and you pop Bloodline Awakening, you dash with the sword, you get the whirlwind cut off, you're already doing 50% increased attack speed, and you pull off one more basic attack sword combo, and you're at 100%, or you dash again, you're at 100%. That person is dying unless they have a healer in their pocket. So yeah, Blade has so much potential to be so deadly. However, where the feeling that he's not strong enough comes in is he is taking a 40% healing reduction from all sources. That's for his own self-heal in Bloodline Awakening, and that's from everybody else. Blade, more than any other hero in the game, suffers from overcommitment, suffers from imprecise dives. If you are popping this and you're going in without a plan, without an exit strategy, or without, backup, heavy backup, you're going to die a lot.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely a problem. Like, is there, they've already tweaked it a little bit. Do they need to do more? Like, gosh, I mean, when we get into his stats, it seems like maybe they do, but I don't know. When I'm playing him, it doesn't feel that way.
Right. Well, let me make my only contributions to this hero spotlight and say I found it. I had to find a bunch of screenshots from pre-release images of Blade. It was the only way I could find on the internet. But his shotgun has 8 ammo. So
okay. It is more than double Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So
and then the other thing is, I think like because of the overcommitment issue, like if you're really struggling with Blade but you want to play him really well, weirdly, I think the best training might be to play Psylocke and Magic instead for a little while, because they have the same issue with like most of what you're doing with them is about how much do you commit and how do you get out in time and stuff like that. But they don't have 40% healing reduction while you're doing it. So a little bit less health, but they don't have the 40% healing reduction. If you practice with Psylocke with the 2 dashes in and out, or Magic with the 2 portals in and out, like you can get some of the basic idea without being committed to the healing reduction right away. Magic's the sword side, Psylocke is the shotgun side, and
Right.
yeah.
And remember that your Scarlet Shroud only has a 3-second cooldown. So as you're engaged in combat, you how I want to caution people from thinking about this is that, okay, I only pull out Scarlet Shroud when there's an ult incoming, or I'm taking a lot of damage from like a source. Like honestly, this is my hot take. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this. I don't want to say I've never heard anyone talk about it, because maybe I'm just misremembering, but I certainly don't hear many people talk about it. You should be popping this every time it's off cooldown, as far as I'm concerned. Just for like half a second. Absorb some damage, reset your cooldown on your Daywalker dash. Like be unstoppable and taking at 80% damage reduction for half a second. Like they might as well not be doing any damage to you for that half a second. And they're giving you a core part of your kit back, whether to further commit to the execution or to get out and run away. So he is all about weaving together his entire kit in every combat encounter, essentially, to be effective, which is tough. Like, he is high APM, like high action, that you're not going into any fight really without using literally every single one of his abilities multiple times.
Right.
Which is not normal for the roster in this game. So I feel the fatigue when I play Blade sometimes. Or like, I love this character, I love his kit, I love to play him. I can't play him as consistently as I can other heroes in the game, just because of how like on fire I have to be to do it correctly.
Yeah. My last tips I'm thinking of for him are Daywalker Dash. So it's really easy, just I was saying about like just forgetting about the shotgun as a whole. It's also really easy to forget about the shotgun side of the Daywalker Dash,
Yes,
because
I'm glad you said that. Thank you.
because the sword side is the whirlwind, and that's really obvious of like, oh, that's the great bloodline thing, and I get 5 ticks, and it's really obvious to like go for that all the time. But specifically, if you're fighting someone who's alone, but they might have a strategist nearby.
Yep.
What I really like to focus on is hit them with the shotgun at the right range a couple times, and then dash in with the shotgun. You're going to give them the reduced healing, and now they're not going to heal back from it, and you can switch to your sword right in front of them. Like, you're right next to them now. Switch to the sword and take them out. I think it's more useful to give them that anti-healing when it's one person alone. I think it's more useful to give them that anti-healing than to get the 5 charges on it, because you're not going to be sitting there hitting them forever if there's someone that you already hit with a shotgun, and it's like a squishy that you're going after on their own, right?
Yeah. And to further expound upon some shotgun Daywalker dash strategy, like, this is where some of his brawl identity comes in. Like, you don't even have to commit to the fight. You can jump in, Daywalker dash, shotgun a Vanguard, and set them 40% down with healing reduction, and just kind of like back up. Back up and keep peppering them with the Hunter shotgun. Like, just because you're within that melee range doesn't mean that you need to swap to Bloodline Awakening and do melee damage.
And just hitting them with that healing reduction randomly, not from the ult, like, they're gonna panic, and they should panic, because they're now in the front line without an ability to heal, really. So it's gonna cause a significant disruption, even if you just dash in and hit them with the healing reduction and get back out. Like, it's worth it.
Cool. Well, that's Blade for now. I mean, with the community feedback and the stats, maybe he's gonna get even nastier, and I'll have to keep playing him even more. I mean, I'm gonna keep playing him even more no matter what, but I'll be even more excited to play him even more. So
yeah.
Well, before we get to that, let's talk about some skins.
Yeah. So, do you like the polarity skin, or do you like picking between Lakers, purple, and
The Seahawks
that
and
like awful rug that you found in that one house that you're like, why is that there?
yeah, I definitely like Polarity's Edge. Not only because I think it's just a super cool design, but because it's definitely an Elden Ring reference with the mounted golden head to the chest piece.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited to get the Will of Galacta skin. I
too.
haven't purchased the Polarity's Edge, but when I get the Will of Galacta one, I will 100% be using the Will of Galacta one. There's something about the white dreads aesthetic that is super cool, and just like the purple trench coat.
Heard
Just
it here. Josiah the hair guy.
Josiah the hair guy. I'm coming for the crown, brother. Yeah, but no, the white dreads are super cool. The purple trench coat, super cool. The blue highlighted tats, super cool. Like,
Oh, I didn't
this
even
is
catch that. Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. This is another like magic skin win for me. I think this is probably my second favorite Will of Galactic skin to date.
All right, but the best skin is the
No,
ranked reward one, right?
no,
You're not gonna.
no.
I'm gonna make you
I
mad. That's the only one I have right now, right? Other than the
no,
default.
no,
And I put
don't.
it. No.
No, okay.
I put it on the random appearances. So every time I pick Blade, it's a Russian roulette of if I get cool default Blade or
Yeah.
if I
Or
look like
Ronald
Donald McDonald.
McDonald. Yep. Oh,
So
yikes.
when I get Will of
Yikes.
Galacta, I'm gonna throw it into that mix, and we'll just have Blade color scheme roulette.
You enjoy that because
Yeah,
I know I certainly won't.
that's my chaotic neutral for that game.
There you go.
Okay, so Blade in the metagame. This is interesting to me. So the Hero Hot List came out for 3.5. Now,
Yeah.
granted, this is the season Blade was introduced. They said they released him cautiously, and because it's the season he was introduced, and he's such a complex character, and easy to throw with. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect him to be doing that great.
Right.
But he ends up comp all ranks being a 5.85% pick rate and a 48.71% win rate. 48.71 is low. That's on the low side.
Yeah.
What scared me though was and what made me think there might really actually be a problem with where he's at is when you go to Eternity, I would have expected that he would have got better because he's a hard character to play. You would think like, oh well, the good players though have been able to figure him out. Well, he's played half as much at 2.82% pick rate, and the reason no one's playing him is because his win rate plummets to 44.64 in
Yeah,
Eternity.
gosh.
So these are the best players, and they play worse with Blade than across all ranks, which tells me that you're feasting in lower ranks on people not knowing how to counter him. So it might be that he's more counterable because he turns on his bloodline and everyone knows he can't heal very well and just
Yeah, so they
focuses
just
him.
focus him. Yeah, yeah. I definitely think that's what it is. And you're far less likely, I imagine, to be able to capitalize on, I mean, half of his build, which is to be able to like hunt people down who are out of position,
Right. Yeah.
and are alone. Like, how often is that going to happen in high ranks? Like,
Yeah.
very little to not at all. Um, yeah, Blade. It's funny. It's funny that you said this now. I meant to say before we got to this point that Blade is one of those heroes. It's again. I have no evidence for this. It would be impossible to prove this. But Blade is one of those hero vibes. I mentioned it with Ultron, and I'm going to say it with Blade. When you are on the battlefield, people hate you. They want you to die. Like, I don't feel as focused on any other character as I do on Ultron and Blade. Like, those two, when I'm in the game, people want to kill you. And I think it's partially because they know of how quickly you can make things go very badly for them. As Ultron, I mean, you can you can 3-tap a lot of people in the game from really far away. And from Blade, I mean, you can carve a bloody path through a backline pretty quickly if you're left unchecked. Also, he's just, very flashy, big red, VFX and
McDonald hair.
McDonald.
Because you're using that skin. You got to use that.
Yeah. But yeah, so the only comparison I can make that gives me some hope is
Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl will never give me hope.
Iron Fist.
All right. Season 1.5. Why am I going to talk about season 1.5? I'm going to talk about season 1.5 because season 0, season 1, like everybody's still kind of like trying to figure out the game. Every hero is still new to everyone. 1.5, we start to see balance changes and things like that, and we start to learn how to do stuff. For 1.5, Black Panther sat at a 48% win rate for the season. Not much changed with him after that, and he became like APB most wanted #1 in the entire game, like most hated. And that's just because people figured out how to play him well. And I some of this is to chalk up to Black Panther having a kit that is unlike every other character in the game, where he is so hard to hit. Blade does not have that problem, obviously, but the same idea of kind of running with getting more skillful and learning how he fits into the niches and things like that. I'm hoping that Blade is intrinsically better than we think he is, but yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I could definitely see with Blade how he could be one of those that kind of rises up over time as people figure him out more. Because there's definitely a ton going on there. And and it sounds like too that they're gonna still try to adjust him up a little bit more too. Because I don't think that this sword change really did much. It's really the Daywalker dash that's a lot of it with the whirlwind, and this didn't affect the whirlwind. It's just the regular slashes. So
right.
Well,
see that.
Let's wrap things up with a mailbag.
Whoa!
And some Reddit takes of the week. All right, Josiah. So you're in luck. We got an email this week.
Yeah.
And, it was all due to Spotify having your back and not letting this guy send a Spotify comment. So
this is from corporations would have my back.
Yeah. This is from Frostimus Prime, who says, "Hi, Nick and Josiah. It wouldn't let me comment on Spotify for some reason. Thought you'd appreciate an email anyway. Winky face." He says, "I like the new Abyssal Glow Luna skin when previewing it. Although in-game, when I use it, I don't really like it. The flame looks like a big red feather on her head, and all the subtlety of the design is lost, and it's just bright red and blue. What do you guys think after seeing it in-game? Love your work, guys. Keep it up." Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Frostimus Prime. I haven't actually seen it in-game. I only saw it in the preview. So, Josiah, you played a game with it.
Yep. Yeah. So I got the battle pass, and I've played a bit of Luna, and I do agree. I had the exact same sequence of reactions as you, basically, where I saw the skin, I saw the hero, the skin, the legendary like intro. I saw the the MVP animation, and I was like, holy crap, this is so fire. This is so cool. And then, when you play it in game, like you're not seeing the, as you put it so well, like the subtlety of the design. And I think that they still do a good job of splitting her like ice side and the kind of like symbiote phoenix side. But it's the hair. The hair being the red and blue.
The hair guy.
Twice in one episode. I told you I'm coming for the crown, baby. Oh man, I could say more about hair for the new character stuff too. This is going to be a running gag now. Yeah, the hair being red and blue is a weird choice to me, and I know that they're going with the like duality, but like
Yeah, it's like a K-pop thing.
Luna, but Luna already has the duality white and black. Like I felt that keeping the white and black motif from her original design would have made a lot more sense and fit a lot better both thematically and just like from like color grading perspective too, because the symbiote is black, obviously, and you know, white being a
Maybe
neutral
red and black,
monochromatic. Yeah, maybe red and black, but I don't know. I
but she
do
has the
agree.
ice. That's why they give her the blue.
That's why they gave her the blue, and I guess the red is for the fire.
Yeah.
But they already gave her the ice. Half of her body is ice. And I feel like they did more with her than they did. I'm trying to just like think through them all real quick. Like Luna retains more of her original identity than I think any of the other characters do because
Yeah.
she has that ice. No one else really has anything comparable
Yeah, I
to
think
show
that's
through.
really what they were going for. You can see the emote is called a dance of ice and
Yeah,
fire.
right,
Like
right.
they're
Clever.
trying to like go with the ice and fire like Game of Thronesy kind of
Yeah.
fun with it.
But what it felt like they did is it felt like they put all this incredible detail into her skin, and then they got to her hair and they clicked on the highlight color palette in this Google Doc that we have and just picked the darkest blue option and the darkest red option and just hit like paint. There just isn't a lot of like there isn't a lot of depth to the hair, and it's very like in your face. So
I
I'm
haven't seen it.
still
I haven't seen it in game yet, so I can't really speak. But I think it's fun. But I haven't seen it in game. So yeah.
yeah. Other than getting teased by my wife every time I play with the Luna Beach skin, I I definitely do think that the every time she's like, "Dang."
Yeah, I do think it's still the better skin for sure.
Yeah, and it comes with the VFX, the ultimate VFX, which now everybody can see. Which hey, that's another thing. Let's separate that. Why do we need to have the ultimate VFX tied to the costume? Like we've already done a lot of work to separate costume specific emotes and things like that. I paid for the VFX, like I paid for it separately. Let me use it separately.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
I can see
yeah.
that.
Anyway.
All right, well, we got some Reddit takes that you
We
provided
do,
today.
we do, and yeah, neither of these are too long, but they are pretty fun, and I definitely relate to at least the first one with my own experience
Oh
this
my
week.
goodness. Yeah.
Had you read this yet?
I read this yesterday when yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the first Reddit take is by Known Replacement 7590. And the title is Bruh, she just came out. And they posted a screenshot of their chat, very tastefully censoring everybody's names, where someone says, "Cheeks, Angela, you need to practice more. GG." And then they respond with, "Angela literally came out an hour and a half ago. LMAO." And then they have a further comment on their post. "What do you think I'm doing? LOL. It was quick play, by the way."
That one,
Yeah.
that comment right there at the end is a point that I feel in my bones so often. People will complain in quick play about you being bad at a character, and that's fine. But
Yeah.
but usually what they'll say is you need to practice more or practice
Right.
the character before you throw
Right.
games or whatever. And it's like, where am I supposed you really think like I really doubt that the people who say, "Wow, you're bad, go practice" in
Yeah.
quick play really
Right.
spend all of their time playing in practice versus AI
Practice AI.
before they play a character. Like, there's no way.
Right.
Like, quick play is practice. That's what it's for. Like, what do you think
Yeah.
I'm doing?
And I have to check myself sometimes too when someone's really bad. And I like we played one of the games we played before we recorded. I noted at the halfway point that our Punisher was like 1-6.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't like I never comment on people like playing badly. Literally, that's toxicity that I don't go to. But But to Nick, I was like, man, I really wish our Punisher would try something else. And we're playing quick play. Like you're allowed to feel that way. But I have nothing else to add to what Nick said. He nailed it. But I do really like the top comment with over 1,000 upvotes is another chat log screenshot where someone is saying insta-locking Angela and going 1-6. What a guy. And then there's multiple people talking here. So it's not just the person who was playing Angela. Someone says she just came out, gang. And then another person says, looks like she's a throw pick. Someone says, chill out. And then another, isn't it quick play? And then another, the best chime in, no way bro is getting upset 38 minutes into launch.
So early.
I know.
At most, this could be like their 4th game on Angela.
Right. And the guy has the audacity to respond, I don't care. And then the other guy comes back again with a 38 minutes LMAO. Yeah, people are way too crazy. I mentioned when I started playing Widow that I literally muted the chat and all comms for multiple games because I did not want to take on the flame of playing Widow. But this happened to me with Angela, and I was doing freaking really well. I was playing Angela, and in one of my games on day one, it was I had a mirrored Angela match. The other team won. And Angela got MVP, and someone on my team was like, "W enemy Angela though, like ours was trash," and I pulled up the scoreboard. I'm not joking. Like I'll post the receipts. She had less than 1,000 more damage than me, and I think maybe 1 kill different. Like our stats were almost identical, but the rest of her team did like better against our comp. Whether the skill or comp matchup, like whatever it was. Like, and I posted, I did type back. This is where I clap back. I was like, we have literally the same stats, like almost down to the exact number. And they just like kept like typing and just a bunch of random BS. And I'm like, all right, I'm out. And I left.
I had one, I think it was last night, where we were playing a game. We were just getting destroyed because we had 2 people leave really early.
Yeah.
And someone was like, man, oh, no, this was with you today, where someone was like, man, our healers are awful, because you and I were playing strategist.
Yes.
We were like, we have no tanks, and we have like a couple DPSs, and like I think bots, because people left really early. Like, what exactly? Yeah, we're really bad at. Well, I forget what I said. It was something like, you know what? You're right. We're really bad at staying alive when we have no tanks and 3 flankers. Thank you.
Right.
I'll do better.
And they kept changing their heroes. Like at least I caught personally 1 person changed 3 times in the match. Never to a Vanguard, never to have a frontline, but to a different duelist each time. And it was like, what are you freaking doing?
And you know what? Like the time that we said that, they had been rolling us. They were like very close to getting to the end of the point, and we had not put up any sort of fight. And after I said that, someone switched to Penny. Yeah. And then we had the person who said that to us switched to strategist, because they were like, "Oh, you guys are useless. I'll be strategist."
Yeah,
right.
And
so then I was like, "Great, we have 3 strategists. I'll play Emma," and switched to Vanguard. And then we held them for a few minutes.
Yep.
Where like we had not had anything before, but all of a sudden we went 2-2-2 instead of 4 DPS and 2 strategists.
Yeah.
And we held them for a few minutes.
And we ended the game. And the stat screen pops up, and lo and behold, we had more healing than the enemy team. Like, you are so full of crap.
Yeah.
Just, my goodness. Sometimes, like, I get it. You can, when you're losing a game and you're getting stomped, like, you can get yourself into a bad emotional place. But like, gosh, take a look at the man in the mirror and ask him to make a change, I guess.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, well, let's hit this last one really quick.
Yeah, so the last one is more of a meme than anything, but there's some interesting discussion. So this one's by Kirby Koopa. They say there are absolutely exceptions to this. However, I've noticed this come up when discussing potential future heroes and their roles, and it's a meme with a guy standing at a podium saying, "Who wants more strategists and vanguards?" And everyone in the crowd has their hands up. And then he says, "Who wants their favorite Marvel character to be a strategist or a vanguard?" And no one has their hand up.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants Nightcrawler and Kitty Pryde and all, they're all these like
Flankers.
cool flanker people. Yeah, that are all like flashy DPS characters. I do appreciate here that the top comment with over 2,000 upvotes is, "My favorite character is Thor. I'm a Vanguard main, and I'm a happy man."
I do like a lot of the suggestions for characters.
Yeah,
in
me
this, though.
too. Me
Like
too.
Vision or Silver Surfer as vanguards or strategists.
Yeah.
Mysterio as a strategist is really cool.
I really like that. Of
It'd
course,
be very similar to Loki, but like more of like a magical hats. Like which one's the real one? Kind of like poof, 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 like popping up all over the place would be cool.
Yep. I do appreciate that someone is coming through with when we did the bit on our heroes. My honorable mention, the hero that I actually want the most in the game is Ghost Rider. And everyone is in the chat here is like, yeah, Ghost Rider as a Vanguard, like obviously would be super sick. Cool. His whole thing is that he can't die. Literally is unkillable. So, that's I totally like, for me, I'm not aligned with this take at all. Like when I think of the heroes that I want the most, I want Ghost Rider. I want Thanos. I think Thanos should 100% be a Vanguard. I want Hive, which I think should be a Vanguard. I want Professor X, which should definitely be a strategist. Like
it's like the definition of a strategist for sure.
Right. Like, and there are others. Like I want to see Cyclops in the game, who would obviously be a duelist. I want to see. Colossus would be a strategist, or like the Juggernaut. I mean Vanguard. The Juggernaut would be a Vanguard. There's a lot of Vanguards that I want to see. So yeah. Cool. Well, gosh, thanks everybody for tuning in once again to episode 33 of Friends and Rivals. If you're interested in even more of our content, of course, you can consider joining us over on Instagram at Friends and Rivals, or on X, Friend Rival Pod, or on Discord via the link in the show notes. If you've got an email you'd like us to email answer in our next email episode, email.
You're welcome.
Or drop it in our Discord chat in the comments on Spotify for this episode. I'm Colin Jones, and this has been another episode of the Weekend Friends and Rivals update.
See ya.